last two after that nice come from behind win 3 weeks ago. But Wilson, after the loss to Nazareth, they've amped it back up.
Yes, they have. Wilson has rebounded nicely. They're 4-1. Governor Mifflin on a bit of a slide. They dropped their first two league games. They're 2-3 overall. But, Jeff, they usually say for rivalry games you can throw the records out the window. We'll see if that holds true tonight. They're playing for the Gursky-Lynn Trophy. Obviously, John Gursky, longtime football coach at Wilson. Ray Lynn, the longtime football coach at Governor Mifflin. He was also the athletic director. Wilson leads this series 40-27 all time. There have been stretches where one side has dominated for several years in a row, but in recent years, it's been mostly all Bulldogs. A couple good years for Governor Mifflin with Nick Singleton at running back, but last couple of years, Wilson has won this game.
Yeah, and if you look at it statistically right now, Wilson has almost 200 points scored so far this season. They've only given up 81. Past two games, it's been 35-plus each game for Governor Mifflin, so they're struggling defensively, so we'll keep an eye on that. A couple good quarterbacks here tonight as well, so we will see what happens. We'll let Bob and Matt set you up when we hand that off to them in just a couple minutes. So again, that is our game at the top of the hour. It is Wilson and Governor Mifflin, and you can stay tuned and you're able to find out all the other scores with us on the Scoreboard show after the game, and we update things at the half as well. Do you want to roll some of the games we're going to take a look at here tonight, Matt?
Sounds good to me, Jeff.
All right. We will cue up that orchestra. Sean Tansky bringing all the band members and fitting them into the studio. How he does it, I do not know. Our Sophie Siemens, who's working with us tonight, I find out, plays the violin. I don't know if we can incorporate that into the orchestra, but maybe somehow we will be able to do that. What we will be able to do is after the game tell you about some of these scores here. We've got Manheim Township and McCaskey tonight. Manheim Township on the road in a 3-game win streak, averaging 372 yards. McCaskey winless so far this season.
Cedar Crest is taking on Reading. The Red Knights 0-5, still looking for their first win of the year.
Penn Manor and Hempfield. That's at Penn Manor tonight. Penn Manor coming off their only win last week against Reading.
Exeter is taking on Effort in a game of two. Lancaster Lebanon League Section 2 heavyweights. Exeter 5-0, Effort of 4-1.
Adam Cook at that game will file a report after Conestoga Valley and Lebanon. Well, this may be a mercy rule game. Don't like to say that ahead of time. Don't want to put down any school, but Conestoga Valley just tearing it up right now. Lebanon's lost 47 straight.
Elizabethtown will travel to Laureldale tonight, take on Muhlenberg. The Mules looking for their first 6-0 start since 2007. Jeff, Rob Flowers got the team playing well here at the midpoint of the season.
Quick math test. How old were you in 2007?
I was 8 years old.
That's incorrect. We'll work on your math. Conrad Weiser and Solanco. That is at Solanco tonight. Conrad Weiser coming off their first loss of the season last week. How about Manheim Central, Matt?
Manheim Central taking on Cocalico. Manheim Central 3-2 on the season. Cocalico 1-4.
Fleetwood in a non-league battle on the road against Canardale out of the York Adams League. Warwick and Garden Spot will meet up at Garden Spot. Twin Valley tonight, Matt.
Twin Valley also looking to go 6-0. They're hosting Northern Lebanon. Twin Valley 56 points per game so far this season.
I'm no mathematician, but I think that's pretty good.
That's a lot.
Let's take a time out. When we come back, we'll roll some more scores and tell you what to expect here on this Friday night, week number 6 of the high school football season on the voice of Berks and Beyond, 830 WEEU.
Spots Insurance Group is a proud sponsor of Berks County Sports. We're an award-winning nationwide agency you can trust, insuring what means most to you for over 32 years. We specialize in auto, home, renters, business, and life insurance. Remember, when you think insurance, think Spots. Visit us at spotsforinsurance.com. That's SPOTTS, 4, insurance.com.
Noisy, squeaky, or uneven garage doors? Do they snap, crackle, or pop? Having trouble opening or closing? $99 will inspect, lubricate, and adjust your garage doors so they run smoothly and quietly. Don't get stuck in the driveway this winter. Call today and ask for our tune-up special. Serving the community since 1965. Overhead Door Reading. We're more than just doors. OverheadDoorReading.com.
That's better right there. Back here on the pregame show brought to you by Shell's Restaurant, Dairy Swirl, and Miniature Golf on 5th Street Highway in Temple. Matt Knopf, Sean Tansky, Jeff Nolan, Sophie Siemens in the studio as well. Don't forget, after the game, scores and highlights. If you're listening to us on the radio, go to our free YouTube channel, 830 WEEU Sports. This is all free. You get Matt Lytle, you get Bob McCool in your ear set or on your television set. This is absolutely beautiful. All right, how about Octorara and Lampeter Strasburg? What's happening between those two tonight?
They're going to face off tonight. LS is hosting Octorara, looking to improve to 5-1 on the season.
Elko with one win, entertaining Daniel Boone winless through 5 tries this season.
Kutztown travels to Anvil-Cleona tonight. Anvil-Cleona looking to improve to 5-1, and they've only given up 529 yards rushing so far this season.
Yeah, but Kutztown, almost 2,000 yards rushing. They've been outscored 164 to 163. They only have 1 win in 5 tries. That is an amazing stat right there.
Something's going to give tonight, Jeff, in that one.
Berks Catholic and Schuylkill Valley. Our Dalton Moore is there. That's at Schuylkill Valley. Lancaster Catholic and Hamburg there, Matty.
They will face off tonight on Hawk Hill. Columbia travels to Pequea Valley in a battle of 2 and 3 teams.
And after the game, scores and highlights on the Scoreboard show. Travis Sparks checks in from West Perry at East Pennsboro. Adam Cook, Exeter and Ephrata. Dalton Moore, Berks Catholic and Schuylkill Valley. Bob McCool will talk about this game, Governor Mifflin and Wilson. We've got Jack Leckler talking about Central York and Dallastown. Also, we got Michael Garland with the Redland Mechanicsburg matchup. Billy explains it all at 11:05 and Eric Epler at 11:15 to update us on the state rankings. That is all the time that we have. We'll update you with scores and highlights. Follow us at 830 Scores. But now it's time to head out to West Lawn because it's Wilson, Governor Mifflin, in the rivalry matchup right here on 830 WEEU and on our YouTube channel, 830 WEEU Sports.
It's time for high school football. Presented by Savage Auto Group on 830 WEEU, the voice of Berks and beyond.
High school sports on WEEU is brought to you in part by Chick-fil-A, Celebration Villa of Exeter, Diefenbach Snacks, the Coley Insurance Group, Keith Heating and Air Conditioning, Habitat for Humanity Restore, Overhead Door Company, Render's Warehouse Markets, Remax Real Estate Agent Phil Macaronis, Lincoln Plumbing and Heating, Pizza Como, Ready Fight Phil's, Savage Auto Group, Shell's Restaurant, Mini Golf and Dairy Swirl, Spots Insurance, UECU, United Way of Berks County, and Victor Emmanuel Beneficial Society.
WEEU is proud to showcase the talent and skill of our local high school athletes. From every tackle to every blitz and every thrilling touchdown, we bring you the best calls and analysis. Now, live from the field, your hosts, Bob McCool and Matt Lytle.
On the field, escorted by our parents.
Tonight from John Gursky Stadium in West Lawn, it's the Governor Mifflin Mustangs and the Wilson Bulldogs squaring off. The Mustangs at 2 and 3 overall in the season, off to an 0-2 start in Section 2 of the Lancaster 11 League. Bulldogs off to a 2-0 start in Section 1. Wilson is 4-1 overall in the season. This is the 68th meeting between these two longtime rivals. Wilson leads the all-time series, 40 wins for the Bulldogs, 27 for the Mustangs. Wilson has won 3 in a row. But it is indeed Berks County's biggest football rivalry. They battle for the Gursky-Lynn Trophy, which might be Berks County's biggest trophy as well. It's a game that has featured some of the biggest names in Berks County football history, and quite honestly, over the course of time, there's been some legends that have been born out of the byproduct of this football game. It's more than anything, it's about bragging rights for these two schools and these players in these two schools, and those bragging rights last for 365 days. It's Wilson, Governor Mifflin. It's our high school football game of the week. It is live on WEEU, the voice of Berks and beyond. Our high school football games are presented to you by Savage Auto Group, and you can watch them live for free on your smart TV. All you got to do is go to YouTube channel. Our webpage, our page on YouTube is at 830 WEEU Sports. You can watch the game in its entirety live while you're in the comfort of your own home. It is high school football, and we are live as our Shell's Restaurant, Dairy Swirl, and Miniature Golf pregame show rolls on from West Lawn when we come back after this.
Savage 61 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is once again the #1 rated auto dealership in Pennsylvania. Thinking it's time to trade up for something newer? We offer the most insane trade-in values you'll find anywhere. Whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, our dedicated team will make sure you drive away happy. Visit us today at savage61.com and see why we're Pennsylvania's top choice.
To find out how WEEU can be your affordable advertising partner, call 610-345-7338.
UECU is a credit union that understands Pennsylvania, what it means to grow up here, raise a family, start a business. And we're committed to being your financial partner for life. With competitive rates, exclusive member discounts, and modern technology, UECU offers personalized banking that will make you feel right at home. Visit bankingforpa.org and sign up for UECU membership through our partner association, the Pennsylvania Consumer Council. UECU, banking that understands home.
Tonight's pregame show is brought to you by Shell's Restaurant, Dairy Swirl, and Miniature Golf. Fuel up for game day with their delicious burgers, hot dogs, fried chicken, barbecue sandwiches, French fries, and, of course, ice cream. Have your own gridiron battler, 27-hole miniature golf course. Visit Shell's on the 5th Street Highway in Temple. Alongside Matt Lytle, I'm Bob McCool. Again, tonight's matchup, it's Governor Mifflin against Wilson. And the Mustangs, Matt, as we take a look at where Nick Morrissey is now in his second season as the head coach for the Mustangs, they're 7-9. Had a solid win a couple weeks ago in a win over Hempfield. Started the season with a victory over Pleasant Valley. Lost to an always good Perkiomen Valley team in between. But they had the win 2 weeks ago at home against Hempfield, a Section 1 team that will be in the thick of things in the Bulldogs section, with a 20-19 victory over the Black Knights, but then a loss to Exeter and then a loss last week to Muhlenberg. They have are working their way through injuries, but one thing they do have with running that Veer offense, they're going to have, if not the best athlete on the field, certainly one of the best athletes in the field, and the ball in his hands, and LeBron Leaf.
Yeah, LeBron Leaf, he was definitely one of their top players last year, and he's a great kid. He's a leader. After listening to or talking with Coach Morrissey, he's very excited about his leadership and what he's doing with some of the younger kids on the team. You are correct. The last 2 games they played, Muhlenberg and Exeter, 2 really good football teams. So Governor Mifflin, they were out. They were without tonight. They're going to be without 4 of their top 6 starters, which hurts the Mustangs. So look for some younger guys that need to step up and fill in tonight for Mifflin to make a dent in Wilson's offense.
Yeah, and when I always have to bring this up when you talk about high school football, because when you're missing a kid as an injured player, a lot of times that could be 2 starters down, because some of these kids are going to be playing both offense and defense, and so you have to overcome that. Now, the good news is they do welcome Nick Callis back. He's going to be the fullback in their Veer offense, and they also welcome Dylan Worley back, and he's one of the players I'm talking about, because Dylan Worley will start as an inside linebacker, and he's a returning veteran there, and also returns back up front on the offensive line. Because if the Mustangs are going to win this, you and I were talking about this a little bit before the game, if the Mustangs are going to win this football game, first of all, they can't turn over, obviously, but they can, if they run their offense with that Veer, kind of maintain the football and put together long drives. And if the Mustangs have a shot to take any kind of upset in this game, they have to figure out a way to do it that way.
Oh, they have to win the time of possession. In order to beat Wilson tonight, they have to win the time of possession game, because LeBron Leaf, they do not throw it a lot. LeBron Leaf, I think, has thrown it 45 times this year so far. He's got a low completion percentage in the 40s. Opposite of, Mason Young with Wilson, he's got a 68% completion percentage, thrown over 900 yards with a lot, 13 touchdowns. So kind of polar opposites from an offensive perspective. But Mifflin is typically, with that Veer option, they run the ball a lot. So they got to control the clock and minimize mistakes. And I would go as far as say they got to win all 3 phases of the game. They cannot make mistakes in special teams. They've got to win the special team game against this tough Wilson Bulldogs team.
And we got a chance to talk with Mick Vecchio, their longtime coach, before the game today. And I always remember what Mick Vecchio used to talk about with his offense. It's 4 yards in a cloud of dust. And if they could do that, just 4 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards. And that's the kind of drives he could do. If they can do that, then maybe the Mustangs have a puncher's chance in this football game. And, of course, it's a rivalry game, so if they can jump on top, that obviously will help them along the lines. But they're going up against the wily veteran. It is Doug Doms. His 20th season last week in the win over Cedar Crest was his 200th win as a head coach. That's impressive. You determine which one you think is more impressive, the 200 wins or the fact that 20 years he's lost 45 games. That's it. Do the numbers. I can do those numbers. That's a 10-2 season just about every year that Doug Doms has been the head coach here in West Lawn. He is the number one coach in terms of wins. He's won more than Jerry Slemmer. He's won more than the guy they named the stadium after, in John Gursky. Doug Doms has done an amazing job in his time as the head coach, and he's been here for 50 years, first as his assistant and now as the head coach. And the season so far for the Bulldogs, they started out with a win over Cheltenham, then a win over Plymouth White Marsh at 27-7. Then the game we saw in week 3 against Nazareth, they lost to Peyton Falzone and Nazareth 30-20. Then they came back with wins in Section 1 against Reading High and Cedar Crest. But we got a chance to talk with Coach Doms about it because I had heard Coach Doms after the game against Nazareth, and he kind of challenged his team a little bit while Matt was down in the field waiting to talk with Tom Falzone and the head coach for Nazareth. I was watching Doug Doms talking to his kids, and it was a pretty animated conversation. But we talked about it with him, and he was challenging his kids because he thought they were playing, in his mind, a selfish brand of football. They weren't playing the assignment football that's a staple of what Wilson wants to do in terms of the offense and in terms of the defense.
You know, that's one of the things I love about Coach Doms. He preaches excellence. You got to do your job. It's a lot like Bill Belichick with the New England Patriots. All 11 players on each play have to do their job. And when you get one selfish player on one play, it ruins the play for the rest of the other 10 on the field. So, I mean, he preaches being unselfish in that huddle. Everybody's going to make plays, but take what defense gives you. You know, if it's a read in the flat, give it to the guy in the flat. If he gives it to the guy in the flat, they got such talent around, they can take it 90 yards for a touchdown rather than going deep on a play. And I'm speaking solely about quarterback play there, but it was great listening to Coach Doms just preach how he wants better discipline and he wants everybody on the same page each play. Do your job.
And it's ironic to me that is said in going into a game like that, because the answer was, do you feel like they've done that? And he said, I'll tell you in a little while. It's a work in progress. But you're going up against a triple option offense, which is, guess what? Assignment football. So this is a perfect, I mean, it's either a great test or an option to fail, because that's what playing against this option offense for Mifflin's going to be about. It's about playing assignment football.
When you're playing against the Veer, it's all about assignment football.
Right.
So I'm thinking what Coach Doms is asking for, and it's tough, right? It's tough in this day and age, right? You got Instagram, you got Facebook, you got all this social media, and it's in your face. Like, look at me, coach, or look at me, college. Right. Speaking of that, you got Glover. Right. I was excited to hear Temple's in the house tonight, looking at Glover, our tight end for Wilson, who's just phenomenal athlete, 6'3", 225-pound tight end, plays tight end, and he's also on the defensive front for Wilson. So look for a big game tonight out of him with, Division I college watching tonight. Yeah, I mean, and that's the first thing Coach Doms will talk about is the talent that we have. He's like, look, we have the talent, but if we don't play the right kind of football, we're not going to win the games we need to win, because you got a Michael Glover, you got a Carell Akings, you got these receivers and Jaden Carpenter and Eli Dean and a number of different skill players. They get the ball to them, but it's about how they go about doing it, and obviously on the defensive side as well. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, we're going to have Matt's keys to the game and a whole lot more. Governor Mifflin Wilson tonight. Our Shell's Restaurant Dairy Swirl and pregame show continues when we get back to West Lawn after this.
Tripping faucet, AC on the fritz, breakers keep tripping. One call does it all. Keith Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. For 30 years, we've handled everything from routine maintenance to full system installs. Residential and commercial, we're fast, fair, and always reliable.
Call 877-KEITH for you. That's 877-KEATH for you. Or visit carlkeith.com. Solving problems since before AI was a thing.
This season, stick with everyone's favorite snack, Diefenbach's Kettle Chips. Legend has it, Mark Diefenbach loved kettle cooked chips so much, he turned his Berks County kitchen into the ultimate snack factory. Now, over 60 years later, we're still making that delicious PA crafted crunch with the same passion and quality right where it all began. So crunch into some flavorful Diefenbach's Kettle Chips today and snack on a delicious tradition. Get ready to save big at the Habitat for Humanity. September 23rd through the 30th, take 20% off brand new flooring, appliances, and furniture. Whether you're renovating your home or hunting for unique treasures, you'll find it at Restore Berks. Shop smart, save money, and support your community with Habitat for Humanity. 5370 Allentown Pike in Temple. Learn more at restoreberks.org.
Welcome back to our Shell's Restaurant Dairy Swirl and Miniature Golf pregame show. By the way, rumor has it, rumor's pretty good because it comes from the owners, that in the house at Shell's, the Dairy Swirl, pumpkin custard crunch ice cream.
Wow. Pumpkin custard crunch?
Get it while it lasts. Shell's Dairy Swirl, Fifth Street Highway in Temple. You heard it here first. It's time for our keys to the game. I think Matt just got one of his keys in tonight's game. Our keys to the game are brought to you by RE/MAX real estate agent Phil Macaronis. If you're buying or selling a home, Phil Macaronis, a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame with over 20 years experience providing countless buyers and sellers keys to the real estate transaction. He's a Governor Mifflin graduate. You can call him at 610-670-2770. Ask for Phil Macaronis for the keys to buying and selling your home. Mifflin, Wilson. Matt Idle has his keys to tonight's football game.
Just for the record, I did have a pumpkin latte this week, and it was darn good. All right, keys to the game. Keys to the game tonight for the Bulldogs. They come in tonight as the heavy favorite of this rivalry. The Bulldogs are going to need to be disciplined and protect the football and win up front in the trenches. Look for their skill position playmakers in Glover, Akings, Young, and Carpenter have big games tonight. Wilson's averaging 215 yards passing per game. Mason Young settling in nicely under center with 13 TD passes and a 68% completion percentage for 905 yards. Offense coordinator Jeremy Palm and quarterback coach Chad Henne are doing a great job with first-year starter in Young under center. They need to continue airing it out tonight to be successful. As for Mifflin, the Mustangs need to win in all three phases of the game tonight. They need to keep the Wilson offense off the field. Time of possession is key. Special teams could also provide Governor Mifflin a spark they need. First-year starter LeBron Leaf under center has a total of 474 total yards from scrimmage, 270 via the air and 204 on the ground. His top two backs behind him, Patrick Stewart and Nick Kalis, will need to hold on to the ball tonight against a stout Bulldogs defense led by middle linebacker Brownback. The Mustangs will also need to capitalize on their big play receivers in Dinatal and Murray. This rivalry matchup is always entertaining. Wilson Mifflin. Here we go, Bob.
It is that. Again, this is the 68th meeting between these two teams. Wilson's won it 3 in a row. They lead the series all time, 40-27. Here's the players who are going to be a big piece of the puzzle. Our starting lineups are brought to you by Victor Manuel Beneficial Society. They've been serving authentic homemade Italian dishes for over 100 years. New memberships are now being accepted for only $10. The facility at 311 Hazel Street in Reading is also available for rental for private parties, banquets, and celebrations. Victor Manuel, the taste of Italy, right here in Reading. When the Mustangs do have the football, their center, Gunnar Gebhardt, is a junior. As we mentioned, Dylan Worley back after missing last week's game, is back at right guard with Jordan Lineback at left guard. David Facey's at left tackle. Big 6'1", 335-pound senior Noah Verut is at the right tackle. Derek Dinatal, really good athlete, is at the tight end spot. Joe Murray is the split end. The slot backs are Cam Overly and Patrick Stewart. As Matt mentioned, Nick Kalis is the fullback, and LeBron Leaf, the senior, is the quarterback. The defense for the Bulldogs that will try to shut down that Veer offense. Michael Glover, Mel Gibson, and Malachi Tolles are the three up front, with the 4 linebackers of Cole Peterson, Ethan Harding outside. Braden Farrell and E.J. Brownback are the inside linebackers. The corners are Jaden Carpenter and Carell Akings. The safeties are Chase Erb and Monty Greer. The starting offense for the Bulldogs up front, Aiden Ginakova is the center. Jesse Etchberger and Preston Simons are the guards. Dave Wise and Avery Manara are the tackles. We already told you about Big Michael Glover, 6'3", 225-pound junior tight end. Has an offer from Old Dominion. And as Matt said, Temple is here to watch him play tonight's game. Jane Carpenter and Eli Dean are the ends. We will also see a lot of sophomore Damian Greer in there as well. Carell Akings will be the starting tailback. We'll also see a lot of Damian's older brother, Monty Greer, as a wideout and as a tailback. And Mason Young, as Matt talked about, is the starting quarterback. The defense that tries to stop down this hold back this high-powered Wilson offense for Governor Mifflin. Gunnar Gebhardt and David Facey are the defensive ends. Wade Gordon and Noah Verut are the tackles. Anjay Anderson and Dylan Worley are the inside backers, with Derek Dinatal and Patrick Stewart as the outside backers. The corners, Joe Murray and Cam Overly, and the safety is LeBron Leaf. It's the Wilson Bulldogs, the Governor Mifflin Mustangs, as we start a weekend of football here on WEEU. We will continue tomorrow night. If you think this is kind of a rivalry, well, we got a pretty good one for you tomorrow night as well. Penn State, Oregon tomorrow night. We get started with Nittany Extra, presented by Appella Wealth and Wyomissing. We will be joined by a left-handed quarterback. Not Matt Lytle, but Zach Mills will be our guest tonight and tomorrow on our Nittany Extra this week. Zach Mills played in the first ever whiteout game as a senior quarterback in 2004 at Penn State. Our coverage starts at 5:30 with Nittany Extra, joined again by Zach Mills. And our pregame coverage for Penn State Radio Network begins at 6. Kickoff is 7:30. Steve Jones and Jack Ham have the call of the game for you. Again, kickoff 7:30 tomorrow night, Penn State, Oregon. Sunday, Eagles and the Tampa Bay Bucks. Merrill Reese and Mike Quick will have the call of that game for you. 1 o'clock, Eagles at Tampa Bay. And game time temperatures are supposed to be in the 90s in Tampa on Sunday. So there's that. What do you think, Matt, tomorrow night? Penn State's Oregon should be last year in the Big Ten championship game, 45-37 final score. However, Rich Garcella told us tonight that he doesn't think it's going to be as high scoring, but the over-under is in the low 50s.
I have a sneaky suspicion Penn State's going to pull it out tomorrow night.
Yeah.
They've come out of the gates slow this season.
Absolutely.
But I think versus a high-powered offense, high-powered team like the Ducks, the way they've been over the last few years, I think Penn State turns it up a notch.
We were talking about this. We had Pat Zerbe on, who's a former Wilson Bulldog last week and played for Penn State. I asked Zach Mills the same question because the question becomes turning it on, flipping a switch. Now, a lot of people think, well, they'll just flip a switch. I don't know that that's as easy as people think it is to just flip a switch. But Pat Zerbe had an interesting perspective of it. He basically said it has a lot to do with the 3 games they played. That the 3 games they played were not, but the timing of it is perfect because the 3 games were all but exhibition games. Now you're going to play Oregon. They're 6, you're 3, national television, whiteout, Saturday night, all those things. That's a kind of an atmosphere that maybe you can actually flip a switch.
You definitely can turn up the intensity for sure, Bob, but I tell you, it all is going to stem to how the play of Drew Aller. He hasn't been electric the first 3 games. And in order for them to win those big games, whether it be against Ohio State or Michigan or an Oregon, he needs to play big. And the first 3 games, he hasn't played big.
Yeah, you are correct. There's no question about that. And that's obviously the reason why Nick Singleton, Kaytron Allen, among others, all came back for a shot to play in games like this. Again, it's tomorrow night, 7:30, right here on WEEU. Steve Jones, Jack Ham will have the call of the game for you from Beaver Stadium. Our game time temperature.
I'm rooting for him.
Well, you got that.
I'm going to have blue and white on tomorrow night.
There you go. All right. Tonight's game time weather outlook brought to you by the United Way of Berks County. For 100 years, United Way has been a force strength in education, literacy, food security, and job opportunities, helping children and families to thrive. Together, they do right here, building a stronger community for generations. Learn more or volunteer at uwberks.org. It's a pretty nice night for football. It's a little bit on the warm side for the last Friday night in September. I'm not going to complain about it. 78 degrees, virtually no wind at all. So the Mother Nature aspect of tonight, not going to be a problem for these 2 teams as we are moments away from kickoff. A little bit of a delayed start tonight. There was a band competition going on before tonight's game, so a little bit of a later start than normal, but we are a couple minutes away from the start of the game when we'll have it for you. When we come back, high school football presented by Savage Auto Group. Governor Mifflin and Wilson comes your way from West Lawn right after this.
Redner's Markets is a part of the Berks County community, proudly employee, local, and American-owned since 1970. Your support has made Redner's a staple, and your continued commitment is rewarded with the Redner's Rewards Program. Shopping at the markets earns you big savings with grocery deals, special offers and services, and surprise savings. Rewards members save at the pump, too, with discounts on fuel prices at our 7 Redner's Quick Stops and many more select locations. Shop, earn, and save with the Redner's mobile app. Sign up at the store or online at rednersmarkets.com.
If you are buying or selling a home, contact RE/MAX real estate agent Phil Macaronis. With over 20 years of experience and a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame, Phil does it all, from residential to commercial real estate sales. And with his large catalog of repeat and referral customers, you know you can depend on Phil Macaronis, no matter where you're looking for your next home. Call 610-670-2770 or call Phil directly anytime at 610-858-4555. Savage 61 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is once again the #1 rated auto dealership in Pennsylvania. Thinking it's time to trade up for something newer? We offer the most insane trade-in values you'll find anywhere. Whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, our dedicated team will make sure you drive away happy. Visit us today at savage61.com and see why we're Pennsylvania's top choice.
To find out how WEU can be your affordable advertising partner, call 610-345-7338.
Hey, football fans, tackle your mornings with me, Mike Keller, along with Bob McCool and Trey Smith every weekday from 6 a.m. till 9 a.m. On Monday at 8:05, we're going to be joined by Sports Illustrated Eagles beat reporter Ed Kratz live from Tampa Bay to talk Bucks and Birds. Plus, we'll be getting ready for the return of the Philadelphia Phillies in the postseason. Red October is right around the corner. And we'll have your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to Dark Nights at Hershey Park. Plus, we've got a new batch of PA Lottery scratch-off tickets. It's Mornings with Mike, weekdays from 6 to 9, right here on WEEU.
Welcome back to John Gersey Stadium in West Lawn. Again, alongside Matt Lytle. My name is Bob McCool. Kickoff tonight is Governor Mifflin and Wilson. We'll see these Mustangs again next week. Our game next Friday night from Shillington as the Mustangs host Conestoga Valley in Section 2 of the Lancaster 11 League. The Mustangs won it last year, and it was a wild one in Conestoga Valley. We'll have the rematch coming up this coming Friday night, 1 week from tonight. I want to add one other thing. We did not know for sure if this was going to happen, but we now know it is official. We did add a game to our schedule for the Saturday afternoon. That's coming up in a couple weeks. Saturday, October the 11th, we'll have the Frost Bowl on Friday night. That's Hamburg and Schuylkill Valley. And then Saturday afternoon, October the 11th, Wyomissing and Twin Valley, currently both unbeaten, currently in the top 10 in the state in Class 4A. Wyomissing is 4th. Twin Valley is 6th. And right now they're just laying waste to people pretty much on a regular basis. We'll have the matchup on Saturday from Bob Wolfram Field. 1:30 is kickoff time. Penn State's playing Northwestern that day. It will be an afternoon game. The time of that one has not been set. So the game will not be on the radio, but we will have our free video stream for you of Wyomissing Twin Valley. We have now officially added that to our schedule coming up in a couple of weeks. So that's certainly something to pay attention to because that one should be a good one. Our kickoff is about to take place, and it'll be the Mustangs who take the football first. Kickoff tonight's game is presented by the Coley Insurance Group. Discover the power of choice with Goosehead Insurance, the Coley Insurance Group, with locations in Muhlenberg and Wyomissing. They're a fully independent insurance agency with access to over 40 top-rated insurance carriers to ensure you get the best coverage at the best price. Whether it's auto, home, or life insurance, they have you covered. At Goosehead Insurance, the Coley Insurance Group, the power of choice is yours. Call their team today at 484-848-6088. Our game is underway. Patrick Stewart, it's off his foot. The ball is on the ground, and who's going to recover it? The Mustangs may have coughed it up on the kickoff. Wilson says they have it. We'll wait for the official to say they do, and they do.
Yeah, a little bit of a short flub type kick there by Wilson's kicker. Landing about the 28-yard line off of Governor Mifflin. Went off the hands of Governor Mifflin up back, and it was a mad scramble, and Wilson player quick to get onto the ball.
So what the Mustangs couldn't afford to do is what they do on the opening kickoff, which is to turn the football over, and the Bulldogs will get the football at their own at the Mustang 31-yard line. So a fumble on the opening kickoff gives the ball to Wilson in Mifflin territory at the Mustang 31-yard line. Mason Young wants to go for something right away. He swings it out for Jaden Carpenter. He's got blockers. He's got the 20, 15, 10, 5, and that quickly. Jaden Carpenter and the Wilson Bulldogs are in the end zone. Touchdown, Wilson.
Beautiful play call. Trips to the field. Little stand-up. Wide receiver screen. 2 blockers downfield. Carpenter did the rest. Caught that ball. Took it the distance for the touchdown. Nice play call there by offense coordinator Jeremy Palm and the Wilson Bulldogs.
Always say it, Matt. You're going to throw a flanker screen. You got to get some blockers outside. He had blockers, and he did the rest himself. Once he got to the 20, Jaden Carpenter just turned on the Jets and took it home. And the Bulldogs now will attempt the extra point from freshman Preston Oxenrider.
I think he may have went in untouched.
And the extra point by Oxenrider is up and home. We are 13 seconds into the football game, and the Wilson Bulldogs are on the scoreboard first on the touchdown pass from Mason Young, his 14th touchdown pass of the season. Jaden Carpenter with 7th touchdown reception of the year, and that quickly Wilson strikes, and the Bulldogs are on the scoreboard first. 7-0 Wilson on top, taking advantage of it and then going for the jugular on the very first play from scrimmage. So now the Mustangs are going to get another shot here. And again, Patrick Stewart is back there as the return man. He is back there along with Cam Overly to return the kick. Actually,
I think it went off of Anjay Rodriguez's fingertips, that last kickoff. It was kind of like a squib kick, landed just shy of the 30-yard line. See if they do the same thing over again.
It is Stewart back there, but he's back there, joined actually back there by freshman Lucas Kreider. Cam Overly is usually one of the return men, but it's Kreider who's back there. Stewart's going to get another chance as he's going to have to go back to get this one over his shoulder back at the 6-yard line. Across the 15-20, and that's about as far as he goes as he gets wrapped up at about the 23-yard line. So Stewart on the kickoff return, and now the Mustangs will bring their offense on the field for the first time. LeBron Leaf throwing the football, 48% completion percentage. Couple of touchdowns, 3 interceptions, but again, he's going to try to run that triple option, the veer option, with the ball in his hands, and what's he going to do and how is he going to decide? That's going to be the key for how LeBron Leaf can attack this Wilson defense. Start it from their own 23-yard line. Kalis, the fullback behind him. Stewart on one wing, Overly on the other. And the give is to Kalis. Good surge up front. Will push him across the 25 to at the 26 or 27-yard line.
Yeah, quick hitting dive to the fullback up the middle for 3 or 4 yard gain. That type of consistency and momentum for Mifflin is needed tonight. They need to come back and answer versus Wilson to keep this game close.
They spot the football at the 27-yard line, so a gain of 4 for Kalis. Again, he did not play in last week's game against Muhlenberg. Kalis had a season high of 79 yards rushing on 20 carries against Hempfield. That win 2 weeks ago against the Black Knights in Shillington. Now they shift around to a more pistol set look for LeBron Leaf. Some shifting on the front four for the Bulldogs. Here's Leaf on the option pitch. He throws it for Stewart. Stewart leans across the tackle across the 30 and dives close to a first down. We'll see if they spot him short or if it's 1st and 10, depending. It looks like they're moving the chain gang already.
Yeah, great execution there by LeBron Leaf on that veer option. Ran to the defensive end, kicked it out to Stewart. And Stewart has been a pleasant surprise for Coach Morrissey based off the conversation we had with him before the game.
Yeah, you asked him, does anybody surprise you? And it's Patrick Stewart. The guy's 5'8", 140-pound junior, but he's been a big part of what Mifflin has been able to do so far. And he gained 7 there. This time it's the fullback, nothing doing this time as the Bulldogs seal the edge and do not let him get anywhere. And the first one to make the contact, Braden Farrell coming up from the outside linebacker spot to hit Kalis right at the line of scrimmage, and no gain on the play.
Yeah, number 20, Braden Farrell, sophomore, 6'2", 200 pounds in that inside backer spot. He was waiting for Kalis coming through the hole.
2nd down and 10 for the Mustangs. Stewart now comes out in a slot receiver spot, slot to the left. A 4-receiver spread set with Leaf under center. Now Stewart goes in motion left side to right. Going to throw a little flanker screen of their own. Joe Murray makes the catch, and there's Bulldogs all over him. I'm not sure if they're going to say it's a completed pass or not. If it is, it's a loss. Might be a good thing for the Mustangs if they rule this an incomplete pass.
Yeah, it is a good thing because Corell Akings, he about took the ball away from Murray in the air, an interception, and that would not have been pretty. It was there was nobody behind Murray if Akins picked that off.
Actually, a penalty on the play. There's the flag. I didn't see the flag. The Bulldog players had blocked the flag on the field. And this is going to be against Wilson. I think they're calling a defensive hold against the Bulldogs. And if so, that's going to give Mifflin a 1st down. It is. So a holding penalty on the defensive side against Wilson gives the Mustangs 10 yards and a 1st down on the game's first penalty.
They must have called that on Akings, and Akings was all over Murray on that. Like he saw that play, he read that play, and he was he was in Murray's back pocket, so maybe it was on A-Kings.
So it's 1st and 10 for the Mustangs from the 44. Stewart, wing left, Overly wing right. He goes in motion right side to left. And the give is to Kalis. The fullback dive will take him across the 45. Picks up 2 to the 46. It's 2nd and 8.
Yeah, Glover and Brown back in on the tackle there on that dive. Not a lot of room to run there for Kalis.
So 2nd down and 8. 9:30 left to go, first quarter. Wilson scored on its first play after Governor Mifflin fumbled the opening kickoff. So it's 7-0 Bulldogs on top. Mustangs have it 2nd and 8 from their own 46-yard line. Again, a 4-receiver set here for the Mustangs with Kalis, the fullback, in the backfield, and movement up front. It looks like Governor Mifflin jumped first. Linebacker, the left guard, I believe, jumped first. He did. It's going to cost Governor Mifflin 5. So it'll be 2nd down and 13 for the Mustangs. And these are the kinds of plays. You talk about playing ahead of the chains. This is the kind of situations that the Mustangs, who aren't accustomed to throwing the football a whole lot, don't want to fall behind the sticks. They're at a 2nd and 13 right now. Guy Campitelli checks in as a second receiver with Joe Murray. They're split out to left with Campitelli in the slot. Leaf, toss pitch for Stewart, left side, gets a block, has the 45, has midfield, into Wilson territory, and a 1st down run for Patrick Stewart, and the Mustangs 1st and 10 at the Bulldog 45-yard line.
Stewart, what a nice run. He set up his blocks there really nice, came inside and then ducked outside just for enough, and making the tackle on the play was Jaden Carpenter all the way deep into the secondary. That was a really nice run there by Stewart, setting up his blocks and using his speed.
Gets 14 yards to the 45-yard line. They on 2nd and 13. They run for 14. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs in Wilson territory at the Bulldog 45-yard line. Here the give is to Kalis. Kalis pushing his way. Picks up 3, a tough 3 yards right up the gut for Nick Kalis.
Yeah, really tough 3 yards for Kalis. Kalis ran into a wall there in E.J. Brownback, and number 59, Chase Frable, senior defensive lineman.
Just watching Kalis, he gets a great jump on the snap. He is quick to the hole as a byproduct of it. He's not waiting for that turn for the handoff. He's coming to get the football from LeBron Leaf as he's lined up at the fullback. Overly, again, wing right, Stewart wing left, Murray split end on the left. Stewart goes in motion, and it's the give to Kalis this time. So they go with a triple option look, but that first option is the fullback, and he pushes across the 40 to the 39, a gain of 3 more.
Yeah, that gain of 3 yards there, that was sprung by number 3, Overly, an H-back for Governor Mifflin, leading up the hole for Kalis, getting him some extra yards there on that run.
So 3 yards and then 3 more on 2nd down, so that puts the Mustangs now in a 3rd and 4 from the 39-yard line. This is what Governor Mifflin needs to do. We talked about this in our pregame show, is grind the football and put together drives. This is the 9th play of this drive. Here's the option toss for Stewart. It's well executed, and Stewart's going to run for another 1st down. Leaf waited for the tackle to come to him and then made the pitch. Stewart takes it for a 1st down.
Really nice poise there by LeBron Leaf, just waiting for that defensive player to come to him before he kicked it out. Just in time, he kicked it out to Stewart, and Stewart got upfield there on that option, enough for the 1st down. Great poise and execution there by LeBron Leaf.
So we still have yet to see Leaf tuck it and keep it himself, but if you're going to get 1st downs with Patrick Stewart, why bother? 1st and 10. 4th 1st down in this drive for the Mustangs. Now Overly will go in motion, doesn't matter. It's Kalis. And again, they just kind of trying to beat up the underbelly of Wilson, pounding with the fullback, but this time Wilson's defense pushes back, gets Kalis down after a gain of just 1 yard.
Yeah, crashing in there again from the linebacker position. That was Braden Farrell on the tackle, 6'2" sophomore, 200-pound linebacker.
The linebackers for Wilson, so active. It's Cole Peterson outside along with Ethan Harding, and then Braden Farrell and E.J. Brownback inside. 2nd and 9 for the Mustangs from the Wilson 31. Here's like a little counter handoff for Stewart. Stewart works his way through traffic. He's at the 20. Foot race to the sideline. Stewart gets wrapped up and brought down before the end zone, but it's going to be 1st down, goal to go for the Mustangs at about the 2-yard line.
Talk about like a counter going back to the short side of the field. That was all Stewart. He turned on the Jets. This kid's got some speed. This was Chase Herb coming out of the safety position, senior 6'1", making a touchdown-saving tackle down at the 1-yard line?
2-yard
line.
Yep. 1st and goal after a 29-yard run for Patrick Stewart. Mustangs knocking on the door. 6:09 left to go in the first quarter. Mustangs have it first and goal at the 2. Again, Stewart, maybe a little out of breath right now. Left wing, overly right wing. Stewart goes in motion. The give is to Kalis. Can he pound his way in? He will not. Bulldogs push right back again on the fullback. It's going to be second down, goal to go.
That was number 42. Matthew Wyatt, sophomore, 5'9", 210-pound linebacker, came in. I don't know if that was blitz or what, but he came in like a freight train. Nowhere for Kalis to go on that play.
Actually pushed him back. They spotted back to the 5-yard line, so it's a loss of 3 on the play. Second down and goal to go now for the Mustangs back at the 5. Murray split out left side. Campitelli slot left. And a pistol set look for the Mustangs. With Leaf taking a snap and a shotgun. It's a toss for Stewart. Nothing there but Bulldogs. Wilson tightening up inside the 10-yard line and now pushing them back closer to the 10. This is going to be another loss of the Mustangs back to the 7. It's third and goal.
Yeah, toss sweep there and nowhere going. You got E.J. Brown back and you had Ethan Harding, senior linebacker, and junior linebacker just waiting on Stewart, and another loss on the play.
Third and goal at the 7. They were first and goal at the 2. Now they're pushed back to the 7-yard line. Again, Campitelli slot left, Murray split left. Dina Tal, the tight end on the right side. Stewart on a wing on the left. With Kalis sidecar left of Leaf in the backfield in a shotgun. He wants to throw it for the first time. He's got a man, but it's blocked. Deflected at the line of scrimmage. I believe that was Cole Peterson who got a piece of the pass. It's going to bring up fourth down.
I think that was a great read by LeBron Leaf there. Just needed to get out a little bit quicker. He had Stewart out in the flat, and if he threw it on time, he may have had a touchdown pass there. Great play by Wilson Bulldogs, knocking that ball down up front.
So it's a fourth down instead now for Governor Mifflin, and on comes the field goal unit for the Mustangs. Lance Koenig, experienced kicker and a senior, will attempt the field goal for Governor Mifflin. This will be a 24-yard attempt. Snap good, hold down, kick plenty of leg, and it's good. So the Mustangs do get points out of it as they put together a long drive, and they do get a field goal out of it with 4:42 left to go in the first quarter. When we come back to Wilson, the score, the Bulldogs 7, the Mustangs 3. High school football presented by Savage Auto Group rolls on after this on WEEU in Reading.
Hey, Berks County, Chick-fil-A Catering makes game day even better. Choose from a variety of trays, including Chick-fil-A nuggets, mac and cheese, and chocolate chunk cookies. Perfect for your next gathering. Place your order through the Chick-fil-A app, online, or by calling ahead and pick it up at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant at Broadcasting Square, 5th Street Highway, and Exeter Commons. Take cooking off your plate this football season and enjoy the perfect spread with Chick-fil-A Catering. Availability and order requirements vary. See restaurant for details.
Spots Insurance Group is a proud sponsor of Berks County sports. We're an award-winning nationwide agency you can trust, ensuring what means most to you for over 32 years. We specialize in auto, home, renters, business, and life insurance. Remember, when you think insurance, think Spots. Visit us at spotsforinsurance.com. That's SPOTTS, 4, insurance.com.
Welcome back to West Lawn alongside Matt Lytle. My name is Bob McCool. 7-3 is our score as the the Mustangs put together a 14-play drive, ate up just shy of 7 minutes off the first quarter clock. They do come away with points. They had a first and goal. They certainly wanted to come away with 6. They come away with 3. But, Matt, this gets back to what we talked about the pregame show. This is what Mifflin has to do. They've got to chew the clock. They've got to keep the ball in their hands and keep it out of Wilson's hands as much as they possibly can.
Coach Morrissey got to be pleased with that drive there for sure. Eating up the clock, keeping Wilson's offense off the field. And by the way, I think he was a little shy about Stewart. Stewart is a player. Yes, he's been a surprise for him, but he's a playmaker for Governor Mifflin.
Tyler Ulrich on the return for the Bulldogs. A nice job by the Wilson Jr. breaking a couple of tackles and giving Wilson pretty good field position. Not as good as they had the last time when they had the ball in Governor Mifflin territory after the fumble and the kickoff, but the Bulldogs are up near the 45-yard line. Although they haven't spotted the football and a couple of officials are talking to each other. I'm not quite sure what that's all about. I don't see a flag on the field, but a discussion being held nonetheless. 4:34 left to go in the first quarter. Again, our score is 7-3, Wilson on top. There was a flag on the field. They're signaling a flag or signaling a penalty, but again, I don't see the penalty flag on the field. Tim Sumner is our referee. John Sheptock is our umpire. Head linesman is Joe Sharp. Line judge is Jeff Schenk. And back judge is Paul Berichter. But it is a penalty against Wilson. And so the Bulldogs will not get as good a field position as they may have hoped. They were going to be out near the 45. Instead, they're going to be back closer to the 30. Once they spot the football, they're going to be right at their own 30. So 1st and 10 from their own 30 after the penalty assessed against the Bulldogs, their first. So each team has committed a penalty so far in this game. Mason Young off to a pretty good start. 1 for 1 with a 31-yard completion for a touchdown. Michael Glover will go in motion to the backfield to give it a keep is by Young. A little option look of their own for the Bulldogs. With Glover as the pitch man, Young keeps it, gains just 2 yards.
Yeah, 2 playmakers, going there, a little option to the boundary. Gunnar Gebhardt, defensive end, 6'2", 195, did a really nice job wrapping up Mason Young, keeping him from a big gain. 2nd and 8 for the Bulldogs.
Eli Dean split right. Jaden Carpenter split left with Damian Green in the slot to the left side. Glover lined up as an H-back. And a pistol set with Mason Young and Carell Akings as the tailback. High snap. Young pulls it down. Wants to throw it. Can't find anybody open. He's going to take off and run. Mason Young will get popped hard at around the 35-yard line. So Mason Young on the scramble. Runs forward. Actually, they spotted out to the 36. He gained 4. To put Wilson in a 3rd and 4.
Outside linebacker Anjay Rodriguez, senior linebacker on the tackle, along with Gunnar Gebhardt again in on the tackle. So nice job wrapping up. I mean, it was a nice job by Mason Young staying poised because that was a high snap. That was almost over his head. So he brought it back down and made a positive play out of it.
Jackson Becker checks in as a receiver. He is slot to the left side on 3rd and 4 coming up for Wilson. Glover making some adjustments at the line of scrimmage. Akings is back in his backfield. Prime time here, spot here maybe for Michael Glover. Another high snap through through his hands, and he has to fall on it back near the 25-yard line. So a high snap the first time Young handled it. The second time he did not. Made the right choice to just fall on it back at the 27-yard line.
Yeah, that one came with a little bit more oomph too, and was a little bit higher, and he just couldn't get both hands on it. Went over his head, and made a wise play getting on top of the ball and not losing possession.
So on 4th down now, Wilson will have to punt the football. LeBron Leaf is the punt returner for the Mustangs. Everybody else for Governor Mifflin's up at the line of scrimmage. So 10 at the line of scrimmage and Leaf back there on an island. Snap to the punter is good. And a high short kick. And Leaf will lose it. Went right through his hands. I thought he called for a fair catch. He did not. I just assumed he called for a fair catch. He did not. He should have. He didn't.
I think he did. I think it was one of those quick wave offs.
But he dropped the football, went right through the breadbasket, but he was smart enough and alert enough to fall on it. So lots of issues going on out in the field right now, holding on the football, but the Mustangs are going to get it back, and they're going to have good field position now. Down 7-3. Mustangs take over 1st and 10 at their own 40. 2:21 left to go in the first quarter. It's 7-3, Wilson on top. Big drive coming up here potentially for the Mustangs. Stewart goes in motion. The give is to Kalis. Again on 1st down, they give it to the breadbasket of the fullback Nick Kalis. And following his big offensive line, he'll push forward for about 3.
Tackled by a couple of linebackers there for Wilson. You had the 40s. You had Matt Wyatt, number 42, and then you also had number 20 in on that tackle, Braden Farrell, another linebacker for Wilson. Just tough running up the middle for Kalis.
Actually, in forward progress, they spot him at the 44, so give him 4. It's 2nd and 6. And here's the counter handoff for Stewart, trying to wait for his blocker. Stewart will have the 45, and he's going to be a couple yards short. They have to get the midfield to get the 1st down, and Patrick Stewart's going to get wrapped up at around the 47, so it'll be 3rd and 3.
Yeah, went right back to that wing T counter, back to the boundary, and Stewart did a nice job again setting up his blocks, but Wilson did a much better job there in pursuit and did not give him the room to run like last time.
Minute 20 now left to go in the first quarter. Mustangs in a 3rd and 3 from their own 47-yard line. Overly will be the man in motion to give is to Kalis, and the Bulldogs just sealed up the fullback. Nothing doing that time for Kalis, and it's going to bring up 4th down.
That defensive front by the Bulldogs, there was nowhere going for Kalis. Glover, Tolles, Gaston, just solid steel curtain there on the front line of scrimmage. Nice job by the Wilson Bulldogs.
So after Mifflin's defense forces the Bulldogs to punt, Mustangs can't pick up a first down, and now LeBron Leaf also is the punter for Governor Mifflin, so he will punt the football. Always have to be cognizant of the fact that that punter happens to be your quarterback as well. Just saying, on 4th and 3 from the 47. Carl Akings is the return man. Leaf will punt the football. It's a line drive kick. Akings will let it hit and roll, and it keeps on rolling inside the 20, inside the 15, and out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. So change of field position to the advantage of Governor Mifflin to back Wilson up with 20 seconds left to go in a fast-moving first quarter. 7-3 Wilson on top. Bulldogs get it back. 1st and 10 from their own 14-yard line.
Just goes to show you what type of athlete LeBron Leaf is, right? And we were joking with Coach Morrissey about, having your quarterback returning punts, returning kicks. I'm like, you might, or he wasn't returning kicks. I'm like, you might.
He said he probably should.
He probably
should.
He
said
yeah, it reminds me of the baseball. Bugs Bunny on first,
That's
Bugs
right.
Bunny on second, Bugs Bunny on third. Where is Bugs Bunny not playing?
1st and 10 for the Bulldogs, and see if they get their center snap issues worked out. 1st and 10 from their own 14. Don't want to see that happen this deep in the field. Young, no problem with the snap. Across the middle, there's Glover. 30, 35, 40. Glover lowers the boom across the 40 to about the 43-yard line. You knew it was a ticking time bomb to find his big tight end.
Yeah, beautiful route, beautiful throw. Nice over route there by Glover out of the tight end position. And Young hitting him in stride. Glover punishing the tackler on the end of the play, out of bounds at the Wilson 41-yard line.
37-yard gain, 1st down and 10. So pretty good start for Young. He's 2 for 2 for 68 total yards as he found Carpenter for 31-yard touchdown. He's looking for more here. Again, looking for Glover across the middle. Can't find Bale, but all kinds of time. Now he's going to run out of the pocket. Has room. 45. Great move to get him across midfield. Mason Young with a nifty little jerk move that gets him into Governor Mifflin territory and then bumped out of bounds. And a little bit of extra after the play. Nice job by the Mustang coaching staff to separate the players from each other. And if this play stands, it's going to be a 1st down pickup for the Bulldogs. And the officials are talking. There's a flag on the play, and Wilson's already walking backwards. It's going to be a hold against Wilson.
Dina Towell's lucky he didn't get a flag there at the end of the play, throwing Young out of bounds late. Late hit out of bounds.
Yeah, there was a Mustang coach, and I'm not sure who it was, but grabbed a hold of Dina Towell and pulled him away. Great job by the Mustang coaching staff. That's what happens in these kind of football games. You got to separate the players sometimes from themselves, but a holding penalty against Wilson going to wipe out a great run by Mason Young. We're seeing a little bit of juke on the part of Mason Young with his legs tonight that we had not seen before.
Yeah, he's got some shimmy and shake. I mean, he's got those jukes. He's got those moves. I'm telling you, he's tough to take down when he's scrambling.
Instead, with the penalty, they're going to be backed up to the 31-yard line. With the dead ball, Wilson will get one more snap here, it would appear, before the end of quarter number 1. But now they're in a 1st and 20, backed up to their own 31-yard line. Glover, the fullback in that pistol set. Now he's going to shift out of there to move to the slot on the right side. And that's going to be a flag. As he got there, then he started to move up. That's going to be an illegal shift against the Bulldogs. It's going to cost them 5 more.
Single back set there in twins formation with Glover motioning out to the strong side of the field there. I think that prior play, they ran the same play over again, and Mason Young's going to be shooting himself there in the foot because Glover was open again late down the field. I don't know if he was his first progression or not, but late down the field, he was wide open.
1 second still left on the clock as the Bulldogs haven't got the snap off yet. They shift some people around now, but there still looks to be some confusion offensively for Wilson. Receiver on the near side is Jackson Becker with Carpenter split out on the left side. 2 tight ends set now on 1st and 25 back at the 26 for Wilson. They're going to run the option. Young's going to keep it himself. They went for the pitch man, so Young kept it. He's at the 35 and 40 and out of bounds shy of what they need to get to the original line of scrimmage, but it will bring up 2nd down and long coming up for the Wilson. At the end of the first quarter, it's the Bulldogs 7, the Governor Mifflin Mustangs 3. We're going to take a timeout, back with more high school football presented by Savage Auto Group. We are live from West Lawn on 8:30 a.m. WEEU in Reading, and you can watch us live on our YouTube page at 8:30 WEEU Sports. More high school football after this.
UECU is a credit union that understands Pennsylvania, what it means to grow up here, raise a family, start a business, and we're committed to being your financial partner for life. With competitive rates, exclusive member discounts, and modern technology, UECU offers personalized banking that will make you feel right at home. Visit bankingforpa.org and sign up for UECU membership through our partner association, the Pennsylvania Consumer Council. UECU, banking that understands home.
Noisy, squeaky, or uneven garage doors? Do they snap, crackle, or pop? Having trouble opening or closing? Get a garage door tune-up now from Overhead Door Reading. For just $99, we'll inspect, lubricate, and adjust your garage doors so they run smoothly and quietly. Don't get stuck in the driveway this winter. Call today and ask for our tune-up special. Serving the community since 1965. Overhead Door Reading. We're more than just doors. OverheadDoorReading.com.
So we're just about ready to start quarter number 2 alongside Matt Lytle. My name is Bob McCool. As Matt Lytle, the Bulldogs go a little option of their own with Mason Young, keeping it running for 15 yards and getting them into a 2nd and 11.
Mason Young's a weapon with his feet, and that was great poise by him, bringing the defender to the pitch man and taking it upfield by himself. Really positive run there, bringing it back to manageable down on 2nd and 10.
They go with it, looking for a little slant in for Eli Dean, but a whistle before the snap. And it's going to back up Wilson again. So 3 penalties against the Bulldogs in this drive and 4 in total in this first half. So it cost them 5. Now they're going to be backed up to another 2nd down and long, 2nd and 16, back at the 36-yard line. Very un-Wilson characteristic right now with the penalties going on.
I can hear Coach Dom's talking. Just do your job each play.
2nd and 16. 7-3 is our score. Bulldogs lead it. And they have it, 2nd and 16 at their own 36. Now Glover shifts out, moves over to a slot on the left side. Play action fake. Young throwing it the other way. He's got a man in the middle of the field. It's Becker on the catch. He slips the tackle at the 30, and now he's got blockers. He's going to take it to the house. It is Damian Greer on the play. Lined up as a slot receiver, made a man miss, and will take it to the house. That's going to be a 64-yard touchdown pass.
Beautiful play call there by Jeremy Palm and the Wilson Bulldogs. That was a motion Glover to the field, 2 receivers each side, ran seam routes, and Mason Young just threw a beautiful seam pass right up the middle to number 3, Damian Greer, and Damian Greer did the rest with his speed and took it the distance. Touchdown Bulldogs, 13-3.
So early on in the first quarter, now early on in the second quarter, the Bulldogs putting up the points on a couple of touchdown passes. First one, Mason Young to Jaden Carpenter. This time, Young to Damian Greer for the score. Oxenrider on for the extra point, and he will split the uprights. 11:45 left to go in the first half, and the Bulldogs up their lead. It's a 14-3 advantage now as Damian Greer on the touchdown reception. That is his 2nd touchdown pass reception of the year. And now with Young, 2 touchdown passes on the night. He's got 15 on the year. But the big play strike of Wilson right now, the difference maker in this football game. And Mason Young, unofficially 3 for 3 throwing the football for 132 yards, and 2 of them are scores. That's a pretty good start.
Yeah, it's not a bad completion percentage. that takes him up from, he was 68 of 100 on the season for 905 yards. So he is now, 71 for 103.
Yeah.
71 for 103. So his completion percentage is going up. I think Palm and Henny are doing a pretty nice job with that young man.
And now over 1,000 yards passing on the season as well. We're only at the 6-week mark of the season. Bulldogs with a matchup next week. They're at Hempfield. As we said, Governor Mifflin beat Hempfield a couple of weeks ago in a nail-biter in Shillington, 20-19. Here is a high short kick that will be returned by Stewart from about his own 16-yard line to the 25 and works his way through. Boy, Patrick Stewart is really good in traffic. And he works his way through the 30 and about the 32 or 33-yard line.
Low center of gravity. He's shifty, and he's got speed. He is a playmaker. I'm telling you, Coach.
Surprised him?
Yeah, he definitely surprised him.
I'll tell you one other characteristic he has. He's fearless. I mean, as you said, he's 140 pounds, but he'll work his way into traffic and come out on the other side. So the Mustangs now down 14-3 early on second quarter. Have it from their own 33. Going to go with that pistol set here with Leaf taking the snap in the shotgun. Kalis the fullback and Stewart the tailback. Here comes the option. The option tosses to Stewart. Bulldogs try to string it out. Stewart does a nice job of cutting it up the field. Takes it across the 35 to about the 36 and gains 3.
Lying there in weight, number 15, Michael Glover on the tackle. That was another nice hesitation there by LeBron Leaf and hesitation by Stewart. Dragging out that play all the way outside and then put his foot in the ground, cutting it up and going north and south and getting the yards he could. Wilson did a nice job with pursuit on that play.
Michael Glover started as a freshman at Wilson on the defensive end spot. And last year, to focus more on being a tight end, didn't play as much defensively, but he's back starting as a defensive end. This is junior year. 2nd and 7 from the 36. Stewart goes in motion. It's Kalis. Again, he's through that hole so fast before Wilson can finally wrap him up. Another nice job on the tackle by Braden Farrell and company. Brownback also in there for the Bulldogs at the 39 and a gain of 3 more for Kalis.
That was also number 55, Malachi Tolles, senior, 5'10", 240-pound defensive lineman, getting in on the action.
So it's been a steady diet of 3 yards at a clip for Kalis, where Stewart has been more of the home run hitter. But those two have carried the ball exclusively so far for Governor Mifflin. Leaf has not carried it. He's thrown it once. It's a 3rd and 4 for the Mustangs. Leaf is going to run the option again, left side. This time he is going to keep it, and this time he's going to fight for a first down.
You spoke too soon, Bob. That was LeBron Leaf showing he can do it on the ground with his feet. He can also throw it. That was a great run by him getting the first down. He spun. Nice spin move and juke to get the extra yards for the first down. And he was about a yard past the sticks.
He was a slot back last year, and Nick Marcy telling us beforehand that we thought that it was going to be the smartest thing to have our best athlete running that triple option. And it's a work in progress for sure. He did not play quarterback prior to this season. It's 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 44-yard line. Here comes the fullback dive with Kalis. Not a smooth handoff that time. Kalis still strong enough to push it across the 45 to the 46 and a gain of 2.
I will say this. At quarterback, running the option is not easy. We put it in a game plan my senior year at Pitt against Penn State to slow the pursuit and to slow their big defensive ends down. That was Courtney Brown and Brad Scioli, both.
They were pretty good.
Yeah, they played in the NFL a few days. But anyway, my whole point is execution and practice. We had to run that option over and over and over again to prepare when we were playing Penn State.
Here's the give to Kalis. Big hole that time, and Kalis burst through. Farrell with another Bulldog tackle. That one may have saved a touchdown. It's a huge hole for the fullback to run through. He's in Bulldog territory at the Wilson 48.
Yeah, Kalis, it looked like he was shot out of a cannon there on that fullback dive off the left side. It was great.
To the Bulldog 48, it'll bring up 3rd down and 2. Kalis just gets such a quick jump from his fullback spot, and they line their fullback up very close to behind the quarterback. So he's on top of the line of scrimmage that much quicker. It's all part of their scheme. On a 3rd and 2, Overly goes in motion. It's the option. Leaf fakes the pitch, and no, he makes the pitch, and Overly's going to take it for a first down. Into Bulldogs, across the Bulldog 40 down to the 39-yard line. The option pitch by Leaf to Overly for the first down.
Nice tackle there by Coral A. Kings, keeping that play from going the distance. I'll tell you, this is tough to defend. You got to play assignment football, to your point, Bob, earlier. Assignment football against this veer option. It's man-to-man. You got to be assigned. If one guy misses, that's it. Could go the distance. Really nice job by LeBron Leaf setting that up.
No, Overly carries it for the first time and goes for 9, and another Mustang first down. That's 7 first downs already for Governor Mifflin. Obviously, 6 of the 7 on the ground, the other one through the air. Clock continues to run as we work our way closer to 8 minutes left to go in the first half. It's 14-3 Wilson on top. But the Mustangs have another first down. They're in Wilson territory at the Bulldog 39-yard line. Again with that pistol set. And Leaf dropped the football. It's on the ground. He picks it up, trying to run out of there with it. He won't get far as eventually the Bulldogs will wrap him up for a loss. As LeBron Leaf just dropped the football, trying to run the option.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. If he took his eyes, I think he was looking at the defensive end, his read, as to whether he was going to pitch it or keep it. And as he was doing that, he took his eyes off the ball, put it on the ground, and he was fortunate to get it back.
But Mustangs lose 4 on the play, back to the Bulldog 43-yard line. Puts them in a 2nd down and 14. And with the number of times that the Mustangs not only run the football, but because the way they run the football, they have fumbled it, including the kickoff at the beginning of the game for a fumble 7 times now in the season. Leaf going to throw it here, a little underneath route. The pass is caught pass caught by Overly, makes the first man miss and slides inside the Bulldog 40. They get back what they lost on the previous play and pick up a couple more to the Bulldog 38-yard line, it looks like.
Nice combination route there by Overly and Murray, and LeBron Leaf on a rollout here to the field, hitting his flat read, and Overly getting up the field for a nice gain.
Puts them inside the 40 at the 38. So it's a gain of 5, and it puts the Mustangs now in a 3rd and 9 at the Bulldog 38. No doubt this is probably 4-down territory here for Governor Mifflin, depending on what they get out of this 3rd and 9. Overly will go in motion from left side to right. Counter handoff is to Stewart, and this time the Bulldogs will wrap him up from behind and not let him get free. And it's Mel Gibson who had him from behind. Brownback coming in to help out, and a gain of just 1.
Gibson, or was that number 25? That was number 25. That was Ramel Gaston,
Mel
senior,
Gaston,
6'1",
my mistake.
240.
You're correct.
In the defensive end position, along with E.J. Brownback. I mean, 2 big dudes there in on the tackle.
Stewart gets just a yard, and as I said, 4-down territory for the Mustangs. It's 4th and 8 at the Bulldog 37. We are halfway through quarter number 2. 14-3, Wilson on top. Mifflin in Bulldog territory, but now in a 4th and 8. Kalis, the fullback, is sidecar left of Leaf. He's got 2 receivers to his left. He's going to roll that way. He's chased that way. He's going to take off and run with it, running for the sticks. And did he get it before he went out of bounds? It's going to be a question of where he went out of bounds, and it looks like they're going to spot him short of the sticks.
I'll tell you what, that was a really nice play there by Ethan Harding, senior. He was out of the linebacker position, came up with his pursuit for Wilson defense, and really made LeBron go wide on that scramble. It looked like LeBron Leaf reached out with the ball for the first down, and I don't know if he got it. It's close.
They've got it spotted at the 31-yard line. And it's first down. It's first down for the Bulldogs. He did not get it. They spotted it at the 31, so it's a gain of 6. He needed to get 8, so he's just short. And so Leaf gets 6, but he needed 8, and the Bulldogs will take over on downs with 5:38 left to go in the first half. Neither team has used a timeout yet. So the Bulldogs on top, 14-3. They get the football back, first down and 10 from their own 31-yard line. Aking's the back in the backfield. He hasn't touched the football as of yet. And now another whistle before the snap. Took the Bulldogs a long time to get that play off, and the play clock shows 0. It's going to be another penalty against Wilson, their 5th of this first half.
Monty Greer going in motion there. It looked like he was pretty excited. I don't know if he was looking to get the ball or not, but he had a hop in his step.
Think he's a little bit of a tell there. First and backed up 5 for the Bulldogs. Again, 5 penalties in this first half. Matt Light will be down the field talking with Doug Doms at halftime. And now the timeout's going to be called. I guess Wilson will call a timeout here, and I would imagine that's going to be part of the conversation because the Bulldogs in the last 2 series have committed 4 of their 5 penalties in this first half, and they're shooting themselves in the foot a little bit. They got themselves backed up to the 26. Now, they overcame that with that big pass play to Damian Greer for 64 yards and a touchdown. They overcame some of those penalties on the last series, but Wilson calls their first timeout here. 5:37 again left to go in the first half. Bulldogs on top, 14-3. Reminder of coverage next week here on WEEU will be in Shillington for the matchup with the Governor Mifflin Mustangs and Conestoga Valley. A chance to see Sawyer Ebersol, the quarterback for Conestoga Valley. Talked with Chad Henne about him a little bit before the game. Asked him if he worked with him at all. He said he did. Says he's a really solid quarterback. Nick Morris, he had nothing but praise for the Conestoga Valley quarterback. We'll get to see him for the first time next Friday night in Shillington. 1st and 15 now for the Bulldogs from the 26. And Aking's the back in the backfield. Young's got 2 on his right and 1 on his left. And Young wants to throw it. He's got a man. He's looking for Glover, who's got a step. Glover, 45-30, 25-20. Michael Glover will outrun the defense for the touchdown. And another home run hit by the Bulldog passing offense.
Incredible throw there by Mason Young. Put it where only Michael Glover could get it. And I hope that Temple coach liked what he saw there because Michael Glover just pulled away from the defender there and took it the distance for a touchdown. Nice throw and catch from Young to Glover.
74 yards on the hookup from Young to Glover for the score. 4th touchdown pass reception of the season for Michael Glover, and the Bulldogs add on. Oxenrider on to attempt the extra point. So home runs being hit for Wilson tonight. Snap good, hold down. Oxenrider's kick is good. When we come back to West Lawn, 5:26 left to go in half number 1. Wilson 21, Governor Mifflin 3. More high school football presented by Savage Auto Group when we come back after this on WEEU in Reddick.
Savage 61 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is once again the #1 rated auto dealership in Pennsylvania. Thinking it's time to trade up for something newer? We offer the most insane trade-in values you'll find anywhere. Whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, our dedicated team will make sure you drive away happy. Visit us today at savage61.com and see why we're Pennsylvania's top choice.
To find out how WEU can be your affordable advertising partner, call 610-345-7338.
Redner's Markets makes grocery shopping more convenient with Redner's Ready. Shop online and place your order as far as 4 days ahead or as little as 2 hours before pickup at your selected store. Our personal shoppers handpick your items and accommodate any personal instructions for your grocery needs. There's no difference between in-store and online pricing and no extra cost for pickup. And you can even have your order delivered by DoorDash for a small fee. Skip the trip with Redner's Ready. Shop online at rednersmarkets.com.
Lucas Kreider having some trouble with it on a kickoff return. The freshman picks it up back at about his own 2-yard line. He'll get across the 10, and that's about it. As the Bulldogs on special teams will wrap him up and bring him down. Chase Erb there to make the tackle for Wilson. He's starting safety for the Bulldogs, making the tackle on special teams. And Governor Mifflin, as a result of having some trouble on the kickoff return, backed up deep in their own territory at their own 11-yard line. 5:18 to go in the half. And thanks to the home run hitting of Mason Young tonight, finding 3 different receivers so far for touchdown passes. Jane Carpenter for 1. He's hit Damian Greer for 1. And now Michael Glover, 74 yards on the hookup, and the Bulldogs lead it 21-3. Leaf will start under center here. He's got 2 receivers each way, and Kalis is fullback behind him.
I'm impressed tonight with Young's accuracy. I mean, he is throwing the ball on point, on spot, putting it where only the receivers can catch it. I mean, he is definitely showing poise tonight, and a big difference from a few weeks ago when we were here against Nazareth.
Kalis on the fullback dive, picking up a couple as the Mustangs trying to chew some clock and get some real estate as well, pushing it out to the 15. Kalis gets 4. Be second down and 6 coming up for the Mustangs from their own 15-yard line. Now back to the pistol set. Kalis is the fullback. Dewar the pitch man, but Leaf will keep it himself, and Leaf will take it across the 20 to about the 21. 6 more on the carry for LeBron Leaf.
Nice job by Leaf there, just calling his own number, following Overly up off tackle to the left to the wide side of the field, all the way out to the Governor Mifflin 21-yard line. Now we got, third and a yard. Big run there by LeBron.
And a big play coming up here for the Mustangs. They have got to be able to pick up a first down here and chew up some more time on the clock and not give the ball back to the Bulldogs the way this game is unfolding. It's 3rd and 2 from their own 21-yard line. Again, same look. Overly will go in motion. The give is to Kalis, the fullback, and he will fight, and he will get that first down. Good, tough running by Nick Kalis, and the fullback moves the sticks as the Mustangs take it out to the 24. He needed 2. He got 3.
I think that was Kalis' best run of the night. I mean, he ran into some Bulldogs, spin move, got an extra two yards to get the first down. I mean, that was some tough running there by Kalis.
He's gotten everything at 3- and 4-yard clips. He's going to come out for a breather here as the football, we'll call it actually at the 25-yard line, and a first down pickup for Governor Mifflin. Freshman Rylan Overly is in there as the fullback for the Mustangs. He's going to get the call. Wilson's all over him, and he'll wrap him up. Nick Marcy had a lot of praise for that freshman. Yeah, Cameron Overly, the senior. Rylan is his younger brother. Pickup of just a yard for the freshman to the 26. It's 2nd down and 9.
Ryland, freshman. He's 6 foot, 184 pounds, running back, linebacker. He's got some size for a freshman.
Giving Kalis a breather right now. It's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Clock at 2:45 and counting in the first half. Bulldogs again lead at 21-3. Mustangs have it 2nd and 9 from their own 26. Movement up front, and now the whistles come.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, there wasn't a whistle right away, so Leaf ran with the play.
That was Gunnar Gebhardt, the center, moved. Nobody else moved, but the center moved, so
right.
The ball was snapped.
And Leaf ran with it.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a penalty on the play.
Now timeout's called by Wilson. So the Bulldogs thinking about trying to get the football back here. So it's going to be 3rd down. So that play is going to stand. The officials did not throw a flag. And heads up play by both sides. You know what they say, play to the whistle.
And there's a situation where you want all 11 guys on the same page.
Right.
Everybody do their job. Well, there's only 2 guys on that play doing their job. The other 9 just stood there and watched.
So Leaf gets a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 8 now for the Mustangs following the Wilson timeout. So Wilson, actually it was Mifflin who called the timeout. The officials pointed at the side of the Bulldogs. So I believe it's Mifflin who called the timeout. So each team still has 2 timeouts left with 2:23 left to go in the first half. It's going to be 3rd down and a long 8 coming up for Governor Mifflin from their own 27-yard line. Overly has thrown it twice. He's completed 1. It was to Cam Overly for 5 yards. They need to get to the...
Yeah, that was a nice throw by Leaf on a rollout to Overly.
They need to get to the 35 to move the sticks. Joe Murray, the lone split end, out on the left side. The 2 tight ends set. Cam Overly on one side, Patrick Stewart on the other. And it's Stewart on a counter handoff. Has blockers. Stewart works his way across the 30, but will not have enough for the first down. Brown back there to wrap him up and trip him up with some help from Cole Peterson at about the 33-yard line. They needed 8. He got 6. Now Wilson will call the timeout. It's 4th down coming up for Governor Mifflin.
Yeah, and that was that counter run back to the field by Stewart, and Brownback with pursuit tackled him from behind because Stewart was setting up his blocks, and just not enough time for Stewart to get up the field. Nice job by Brownback and the Wilson Bulldogs holding him 4th down and 2 to go with 2 minutes and 15 seconds.
And the Mustangs likely are going to punt the football here. It'd be a pretty hefty gamble for Nick Marcy to go for it here, backed up his own territory. It'd be 4th and 2 at the 33-yard line. I invite you to stick around coming up for our Lincoln Plumbing Heating halftime show.
Any guess who's going to be punting the ball?
Well, that's true. You got LeBron Leaf as your punter. You can always think about that when you got a threat like that back there as a punter.
Little fake punt.
Yeah. It's a gamble.
It's a
I
gamble?
guarantee you who would try that? Dan Lanning tomorrow night for Oregon. This would be right up his alley.
21-3.
Yeah.
Definitely take some momentum into the halftime.
For sure. We'll see. I don't know that Nick Marcy is that kind of a riverboat gambler, but hey, we'll find out shortly. 4th down and 2 from the 33. Again, you have to wait till they break the huddle because Leafs in the middle of it all.
Yeah, it looks like they're going for it.
It looks like they are. Now, you also could have the possibility if he lines up in a shotgun, he could drop back a step and do a little pooch kick, as Wilson's going to bring everybody up and play it straight because it's 4th and 2 from the 33.
I might set up special teams here like I'm going to punt and then still let Leaf run it. Take some of your starting defense off the field.
Well, they're running the option, and he runs into his own lineman, but he fights, and he's not going to have enough.
Not going to get there.
The play got busted up as Leaf ran right up the back of one of his offensive linemen, and the Bulldogs wrap him up a yard short, and Wilson will take over on downs.
Yeah, tackle in on the play by Matthew Wyatt and Chase Herb, safety, coming up making the tackle, keeping LeBron Leaf short of the first down.
So Wilson will take possession in Governor Mifflin territory for the 2nd time. They did the same thing to start the game. This time they'll start at the Mifflin 34. And Wilson only has 1 timeout to work with, but a much shorter field to work with. E.J. Brownback shaken up a little bit as he's coming off the field, holding his right arm tight to his side as the trainer's taking a look at him as he comes to the sideline. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs from the Governor Mifflin 34. Still 2:09 left to play in the first half. Again, Wilson leads at 21-3. Crowded backfield with Glover is in there as well. Here's a little reverse. Greer hands it off to Akings on his first touch. Gets a block from his quarterback. Works his way to the 25, wrapped up and tossed to the ground by LeBron Leaf.
1st down run. Great play call there on the reverse, but you know what made that play? That was Mason Young, quarterback, lead blocker on that play, getting Sprung Akins up the field for a first down run, gain of 10 or 11 yards.
11 for Akins, his first touch of the football game, and it comes on a reverse. They handed it from Young to Monty Greer, who then handed it off to Akins on the reverse, and he gets 11 on his first touch. Bulldogs first and 10 at the 23. 1:46 left to go in the half. Glover will switch from the right wing to a fullback spot. Play action fake, little slant, and it's Dean. 10, 5, and down to about the 2. Just a simple little slant in to Eli Dean, and it's first and goal for the Bulldogs.
Huge play action pass there. Faked the dive, stood up tall, threw the slant route to Dean, almost for a touchdown, down to the Governor Mifflin 2-yard line. That was reminiscent of Kansas City Chiefs. That was a wrinkle from none other than Chad Henne.
21 yards on a hook up to the 2, and now Akins will keep it, and he'll take it in for the touchdown. Corell Akins will run it in for the score for the Bulldogs, who don't take up a whole lot of time as they quickly move down the field on the arm of Mason Young and the legs of Corell Akins into the end zone for the touchdown. Wilson adds on for 6 more. So Akins on the touchdown run is 8th of the season. And on comes Auction Rider to attempt his 4th extra point of this first half. So the gamble by Nick Morrissey to go for it in his own territory ultimately comes up short. Wilson comes up with a short field, and the Bulldogs take a short period of time and put it in the end zone. Snap down, kick, line drive kick. Did he get it through? He did. 1:21 left to go in the first half. When we come back to West Lawn, Bulldogs on top, 28-3. More high school football presented by Savage Auto Group. Back after this.
This season, stick with everyone's favorite snack, Diefenbach's Kettle Chips. Legend has it Mark Diefenbach loved kettle cooked chips so much he turned his Berks County kitchen into the ultimate snack factory. Now, over 60 years later, we're still making that delicious PA crafted crunch with the same passion and quality right where it all began. So crunch into some flavorful Diefenbach's Kettle Chips today and snack on a delicious tradition.
My AC gave out on the hottest day of the year. Keith had it running again fast and for a fair price. That was years ago, and I've trusted them ever since. Plumbing, electrical, heating, cooling, Keith handles it all. They've been around for 30 years for a reason. Honest, fast, professional, solid work every time. Call Keith. You'll be glad you did.
Keith, quality you trust, comfort you deserve. Call 877-KEITH for you. That's 877-KEATH for you. Or visit carlkeith.com.
High school football tonight on 8:30 a.m. WEEU in Reading. Bulldogs with the score. Here on the kickoff is Lucas Kreider from about his own 10. Freshman to the 20 and wrapped up at about the 25. And the Bulldogs will gang tackle him there and push him back. Mason Young's biggest night statistically so far this season is the game we had here against Nazareth. He was 22 for 35, 270 yards and 2 touchdowns. Well, he is off to a pace tonight. Unofficially 5 for 5 for 227 and 3 scores.
He's poised tonight. He's throwing beautiful balls. He's electric. He's feeling it. I haven't seen a bad throw for him tonight. So kudos to the coaches. Again, offense coordinator Jeremy Palm and obviously Chad Henne really have this kid playing well.
First and 10 for the Mustangs with 1:13 to go in the half. Governor Mifflin down 28-3, starts from its own 25-yard line. They will give it to the fullback, the dive to Kalis, who pushes forward. Another 3-yard pickup for Nick Kalis. He has done the dirty work tonight for Governor Mifflin's offense. Picking up a couple.
Yeah, hard rushing there by Kalis, and crashing from the defensive end position, making a tackle is Michael Glover.
15th carry of the night so far for Kalis, and almost all of them have been 3 yards, 4 yards, 2 yards, just pounding away. Second down and 7. Mustangs not in any hurry right now. Still have 2 timeouts they could use. 2 receivers each way with Kalis, the fullback, behind Leaf under center. Stewart goes in motion. Here's the option. Leaf pitches it back to Stewart. Looking for a block. He doesn't get the block, and the Bulldogs will blow it up. And they'll drop Stewart for a loss.
That was a great pursuit there by E.J. Brownback. And who else? That was number 4, Ethan Harding, the pursuit. Harding had the pitch man, and Brownback had Leaf, and there was no going on that option play. really nice job in the pursuit by Bulldogs defense.
Stewart loses a yard back to the 27. It'll be 3rd down and 6. And it doesn't look like the Mustangs are going to even bother to take another snap here to finish the first half. They will not. So the Wilson Bulldogs with an air assault in the first half. And as a result of that, they lead the football game at the break. The score, Wilson 28, Governor Mifflin 3. We'll take a timeout. Back with our Lincoln Plumbing Heating halftime show right after this on 8:30 a.m. WEEU in Reading.
If you are buying or selling a home, contact RE/MAX real estate agent Phil Macaronis. With over 20 years of experience and a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame, Phil does it all. From residential to commercial real estate sales. And with his large catalog of repeat and referral customers, you know you can depend on Phil Macaronis, no matter where you're looking for your next home. Call 610-670-2770 or call Phil directly anytime at 610-858-4555. Get ready to save big at the Habitat for Humanity Restore. For just 1 week only, September 23rd through the 30th, take 20% off brand new flooring, appliances, and furniture. Whether you're renovating your home or hunting for unique treasures, you'll find it at Restore Berks. Shop smart, save money, and support your community with Habitat for Humanity. 5370 Allentown Pike in Temple. Learn more at restoreberks.org.
Savage 61 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is once again the #1 rated auto dealership in Pennsylvania. Thinking it's time to trade up for something newer? We offer the most insane trade-in values you'll find anywhere. Whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, our dedicated team will make sure you drive away happy. Visit us today at savage61.com and see why we're Pennsylvania's top choice.
To find out how WEU can be your affordable advertising partner, call 610-345-7338.
If you are buying or selling a home, contact RE/MAX real estate agent Phil Macaronis. With over 20 years of experience and a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame, Phil does it all. From residential to commercial real estate sales. And with his large catalog of repeat and referral customers, you know you can depend on Phil Macaronis, no matter where you're looking for your next home. Call 610-670-2770 or call Phil directly anytime at 610-858-4555.
Tonight's halftime show is brought to you by Lincoln Plumbing and Heating. When you need a plumber, get a good one. Locally owned and operated for over 50 years, Lincoln Plumbing has the experience to help from a leaky faucet to a whole bathroom remodel. Call 610-376-0863 for Lincoln Plumbing and Heating, as honest as their name. Alongside Matt Lytle, my name is Bob McCool, and at halftime, it's the Wilson Bulldogs and the Governor Mifflin Mustangs. And this, the 68th meeting between these two programs. Wilson leads the series all-time 40-27. Including winning the last 3 straight. They are on top here at the break by a score of 28-3, thanks to the aerial attack of Wilson and their quarterback Mason Young, again, unofficially 5 for 5 for 227 yards and 3 scores, including a touchdown pass to Jaden Carpenter for 31 yards, to Damian Greer for 64, and then to Michael Glover for 74. And the Bulldogs on top by a 28-3 score. Governor Mifflin put together a really good drive after Wilson's first score. Took it 14 plays and 70 yards, ate up almost 7 minutes of the first quarter clock. Ultimately had to settle for a field goal after having it 1st and goal at the 2. But the Mustangs really ran some time off the clock and were very much in it. But eventually Wilson able to overcome some penalties in the first half. But the air game getting it done for the Bulldogs, and they lead it 28-3. You are up to date in West Lawn. We're going to throw things back to our WEU studios. Jeff Nolan, Matt Knob will fill you in on the scores of Berks County and beyond on our Scoreboard show at the halftime here on a high school football Friday night on WEEU.
All right, thank you very much there, Bob McCool, Matt Lytle. We are in the second floor here of 4th and Court, along with Matt Knob and Sean Tansky, Sophie Siemens. My name is Jeff Nolan. Well, Matt, I'm no mathematician, and I went to a high school that actually didn't excel in that. I'm talking about the Neshaminy School District. At least the classes I participated in when it came to arithmetic, we were not very good. However, 45 yards on average right now, Mason Young averaging 5 completions and 227 yards. Check me if I'm wrong, but I believe I'm right.
You are right, Jeff. The Wilson passing game, it's been big play after big play. Touchdown passes of 31, 64, and 74 yards. Throw in a 2-yard touchdown run from running back Carell Akings, and there you have it, 28-3. The Bulldogs are all over Governor Mifflin.
Yeah, and Governor Mifflin coming into this game a little bit outmanned as far as the roster injuries and that sort of thing. And they make a mistake right away. Mason Young makes them pay early. They get back in there, but you got to give the Wilson defense credit. I know that Coach Doms prides himself on defense, and they come up with a big stop that limits Governor Mifflin to just a field goal right after they score their first touchdown on the Mustang miscue. I think right there, that's a momentum changer that Governor Mifflin looks like is not going to recover from.
I agree. That's your difference in the first half. If Mifflin can punch the ball, and they had it down to the
2-yard line.
If they could have punched it in there and made it 7-7, we could have been having a different discussion now. But instead, they went backwards from the 2-yard line back to the 7, end up kicking the field goal, and no other points to speak of for the Mustangs. So 28-3 at the break.
So we are going to take our first time out. When we come back, we'll update the scores in the area. On this Friday night, week number 6 of the high school football season, it's the halftime show on the voice of Berks and Beyond, 830 WEEU.
Tripping faucet, AC on the fritz, breakers keep tripping. One call does it all. Keith Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. For 30 years, we've handled everything from routine maintenance to full system installs. Residential and commercial, we're fast, fair, and always reliable.
Call 877-KEITH for you. That's 877-KEATH for you. Or visit carlkeith.com. Solving problems since before AI was a thing.
Redner's Markets is a part of the Berks County community, proudly employee, local, and American-owned since 1970. Your support has made Redner's a staple, and your continued commitment is rewarded with the Redner's Rewards Program. Shopping at the markets earns you big savings with grocery deals, special offers and services, and surprise savings. Rewards members save at the pump, too, with discounts on fuel prices at our 7 Redner's Quick Stops and many more select locations. Shop, earn, and save with the Redner's mobile app. Sign up at the store or online at rednersmarkets.com.
Back here, week number 6, halftime. 28-3, Wilson leading Governor Mifflin. With Matt Knob, I'm Jeff Nolan. Halftime show. Scoreboard show follows all the scores, highlights, and updated information. But right now we get you caught up at the break. Matt, before we go any further, I know the season of your show, In the Dirt, winding down Monday nights at 6 o'clock. I know you've got a big show coming up this Monday. Let our audience know who's on.
This Monday, we will have 3 Action Track USA point champions. It's Hannah Corman, Brett Bieber, and Billy Pouch Jr. We've already had 6 point champions on so far from the local tracks, and these are the final 3 for the season finale of In the Dirt.
Justin Bieber, Brett Bieber, are they related in any way?
No relation.
That would have been really cool.
No relation.
Yeah, all right. Well, I could hope, right? Anybody in studio or everybody on the phone?
To be determined.
Ooh, interesting. How many more shows after this, or is this the last one?
This is the last one, season finale.
The season finale. Ladies and gentlemen, is there any cliffhangers?
You have to tune in. You have to tune in to find out.
You are good, Matt Knob.
I'm not gonna spoil it now, Jeff. We only got one show to go. They'll have to tune in if they want to hear about it.
I mean, I'm literally on the edge of my seat now. That's only because I spilled water on the back half, but I'm on the edge of my seat right now, waiting to see what happens on Monday. All right, cue up that music because people want some scores here. Hey, are you familiar with that song "Mercy Me"?
Yeah, we actually played a clip of it last year on this show, the Scoreboard show.
Well, they're playing it at McCaskey tonight. Manheim Township, a 42-0 lead at the break over McCaskey. McCaskey, some growing pains, that is for sure. They are 0-5 to start the season, 0-6 within, unfortunately, viewing distance. What's going on between Cedar Crest and Reading?
Similar situation to what's happening at McCaskey. Cedar Crest leads Reading 35-0 in the second quarter. Reading also winless and looks like they're going to unfortunately fall to 0-6.
You had them in studio on Slice of Sports. The attitude at least seemed pretty good from Coach Godney and the guys.
Yes, the attitude and the mood surrounding the team is positive. Last week they fell to Penn Manor. I interviewed them just before that. But they're working hard and they're trying to improve. They got a lot of freshmen and sophomores playing significant varsity minutes. So trying to get a little bit better each week.
Hempfield and Penn Manor. Penn Manor beat Reading last week, as Matt just said. Hempfield playing in their 700th career varsity game. I get that courtesy of our friends at Lancaster Online, the Lancaster newspaper. They great information. Please subscribe. That's where we get a ton of our stats and our information. Hempfield 21-0 over Penn Manor. Exeter and Ephrata. What's happening out there, Matty?
Leo Brown had a touchdown run, his 12th of the season, and Jake Hafer connected with Jaden Ware for a touchdown. The Eagles are pitching a shutout. They lead Ephrata 14-0 at the break.
Yeah, Exeter unbeaten, Ephrata with one loss so far this season. Muhlenberg looking to go to 6-0 for the first time since 2007, get a 65-yard touchdown run from Cam Small. They're up 14-9 at home tonight against Elizabethtown. That is at the break. By the way, Muhlenberg at home for the rest of the year, so we don't have to say that anymore. Conrad Weiser, last year it was no mercy. This year it's no mercy the other way around. But I'll do this one. This is Solanco leading Conrad Weiser 41-13. That's short for Southern Lancaster County. I don't know if you knew that. It's Solanco.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm well aware.
I got to get that right. I can never mess that one up again. But great showing by them at 4-1 and looking to improve to 5-1, up 41-13. Mannheim Central and Cocalico, Matty.
Mannheim Central is beating Cocalico 14-0 in the second quarter. Another second quarter score. Kennerdale 7, Fleetwood 0.
Timeout. That's what we're going to call right now. We've got more scores and highlights coming up here at the halftime show on 830 WEEU.
This season, stick with everyone's favorite snack, Diefenbach's Kettle Chips. Legend has it Mark Diefenbach loved kettle-cooked chips so much he turned his Berks County kitchen into the ultimate snack factory. Now, over 60 years later, we're still making that delicious PA-crafted crunch with the same passion and quality right where it all began. So crunch into some flavorful Diefenbach's Kettle Chips today and snack on a delicious tradition. Get ready to save big at the Habitat for Humanity Restore. For just 1 week only, September 23rd through the 30th, take 20% off brand new flooring, appliances, and furniture. Whether you're renovating your home or hunting for unique treasures, you'll find it at Restore Berks. Shop smart, save money, and support your community with Habitat for Humanity. 5370 Allentown Pike in Temple. Learn more at restoreberks.org.
28-3 at the break. Wilson over Governor Mifflin. Welcome back to the halftime show from the second floor, 4th and Court. Matt Knob, Jeff Nolan, Sean Tansky, along with Sophie Siemens. Just notified from Bob McCool and Don McLean. The marching band refused to yield, so they're still on the field. We're going to keep it here just a little bit longer here. Got some scores to roll for you. I hope somebody got that one out there.
That was a smooth reference, Jeff.
Yeah.
That was smooth. I'll give it to you.
I'm like a good whiskey, pal. I'm telling you, I'm like a good whiskey.
Matt, don't encourage that one. Oh, that one. Oh.
That was good, boys.
All it takes is a bad reference. Well, not a bad reference, a bad reference in Sean's mind for Sean to open his mic.
Yeah, well, listen, Bob McCool got it, so I don't know if Bob should be worried about that or not. Warwick at the half, they lead Garden Spot 14-3. Also, moving down a little bit further there, Lampeter Strasburg, they've got one loss so far this season. I'm trying to figure out where they are because they've got Twin Valley and they've got Wyomissing on the back end of the schedule. Boy, they're just pounding Octorara tonight, aren't they?
27-0, and yes, I think all signs point to those last couple weeks of the season where it's going to be Twin Valley, Wyomissing, and LS. That will decide who wins Section 4 most likely.
Asher Jones to Brady Cunningham for 10 yards, to Noel McQueen for 43, and Jones also with a touchdown run for LS in that one. Elko and Daniel Boone. Daniel Boone, one win a year ago, 0-5 to start the season. Still in this one on the road tonight against Elko, Matt.
Elko 14, Daniel Boone 6, Yizer with a 69-yard touchdown run for Elko.
Yizer on that one. We're going to look at right now Annville, Cleona, and Kutztown. That's a 14-7 lead for Annville, Cleona. Kutztown on the road tonight. Annville, Cleona at 4-1, and Kutztown at 1-4. We gave you that stat in the pregame. Kutztown outscored by 1 point the entire year. That is it, but they're 1-4. Berks Catholic, Aiden Curry, 45-yard touchdown run. Xavier Gerald, 85-yard touchdown run. Coy Kohler, 64-yard touchdown run. So it was a 45 run by Curry, an 85-yard run by Gerald, and a 64-yard run by Kohler. 21-12, they lead Schuylkill Valley late in the second. What is Lancaster Catholic doing there?
Lancaster Catholic leads Hamburg 21-0. And Columbia leads Pequay Valley 7-0 at the break.
Boyertown leads Perk Valley 7-3. Saturday games, Wyomissing. That is Donegal. That's at 1:30. And then Lebanon and Conestoga Valley at 11 a.m. That is at Lebanon. So, all right. We'll have off-the-grid games as well coming up. Post-game show, we'll get reports from a few of the games. Eric Epler as well with the state rankings. This is the halftime show, 28-3, Wilson over Governor Mifflin. We get ready to send it back out to Wilson with Bob McCool and Matt Lytle. Hey, Berks County, Chick-fil-A Catering makes game day even better. Choose from a variety of trays, including Chick-fil-A nuggets, mac and cheese, and chocolate chunk cookies. Perfect for your next gathering. Place your order through the Chick-fil-A app, online, or by calling ahead and pick it up at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant at Broadcasting Square, 5th Street Highway, and Exeter Commons. Take cooking off your plate this football season and enjoy the perfect spread with Chick-fil-A Catering. Availability and order requirements vary. See restaurant for details.
WEEU is a credit union that understands Pennsylvania, what it means to grow up here, raise a family, start a business. And we're committed to being your financial partner for life. With competitive rates, exclusive member discounts, and modern technology, WEEU offers personalized banking that will make you feel right at home. Visit bankingforpa.org and sign up for WEEU membership through our partner association, the Pennsylvania Consumer Council. WEEU, banking that understands home.
Noisy, squeaky, or uneven garage doors? Do they snap, crackle, or pop? Having trouble opening or closing? Get a garage door tune-up now from Overhead Door Reading. For just $99, we'll inspect, lubricate, and adjust your garage doors so they run smoothly and quietly. Don't get stuck in the driveway this winter. Call today and ask for our tune-up special. Serving the community since 1965. Overhead Door Reading. We're more than just doors. OverheadDoorReading.com.
Spots Insurance Group is a proud sponsor of Berks County Sports. We're an award-winning nationwide agency you can trust, insuring what means most to you for over 32 years. We specialize in auto, home, renters, business, and life insurance. Remember, when you think insurance, think Spots. Visit us at spotsforinsurance.com. That's SPOTTS, 4, insurance.com.
Welcome back to our Lincoln Plumbing Heat halftime show. Again, the Wilson Bulldogs on top of the Governor Mifflin Mustangs 28-3. Just to give you some numbers here from the first half, Governor Mifflin actually had more first downs than Wilson, thanks in large part to that one really long drive, that 14-play drive. But they had 8 first downs to Wilson's 6, and Mifflin's done it on the ground. Wilson's done it through the air. It's not surprising by that. 7 of the 8 for the Governor Mifflin Mustangs on the ground, and for the Bulldogs, 5 of their 6 first downs through the air. Patrick Stewart, good first half for Stewart so far. The junior has run 9 times for 61 yards. Nick Kalis, we've talked about it. He's been the pound and ground for the Mustangs. The fullback, 13 carries for 33 yards. LeBron Leaf carried it 6 times for a net of 14 yards. And he threw it one time, threw it twice, completed 1 pass to Cam Overly for 5 yards. That's the only passing numbers for the Mustangs. Kind of a complete opposite for the Wilson Bulldogs. Wilson actually led at halftime by Mason Young on the ground with 3 carries for 21 yards. Carl Akings didn't carry it up until that last offensive series for the Bulldogs. He carried it twice for 13 yards, including the final couple for a touchdown. Mason Young, how about a first half for Mason Young that goes 5 for 5 for 217 yards and 3 touchdowns, and he spread them out. Michael Glover caught 1. Damian Greer caught 1. Jaden Carpenter also caught 1. Carpenter's was from 31 yards out. Greer's was from 64 yards out. And Glover's was from 74 yards out. So a outstanding first half for Mason Young. How good? Well, it's hard to complain about anything that Mason Young did, because let's not forget, he also kept it a couple times. He also ran the ball very well. He had a big first down run that was actually called back by way of a penalty in that first half as well.
Yeah, playmaker, making plays with his feet. And quite honestly, Bob, his touchdown passes were beautiful throws, poised in the pocket, making nice throws. But his best throw of the night was to Dean there down in the red zone. Play action pass, fakes the dive, stands up tall, throws the one-on-one backside slant. Dean almost got into the end zone for a touchdown there. That was a nice throw of the night, in my opinion, by Mason Young. He's looking sharp tonight.
And again, spreading the wealth around to his receivers as well, as the teams are out to do their warm-ups after the halftime comes to a conclusion. And again, these two teams on the road next week are the Bulldogs at Hempfield. They're actually on the road for the next 3 weeks, Hempfield, Penn Manor, and then Manheim Township. Bulldogs after tonight back here for the last game of the season. We'll be here as well for the matchup against Manheim Township. Seems like Wilson, Manheim Township are the last game of the year and a fight for the top of the Section 1 title just about every year. We had the game last year at Manheim Township. We'll have the game again here in Wilson last week of the season, October the 24th. Wilson and Manheim Township. That'll actually be the Bulldogs' next home game in week number 10. For the Governor Mifflin Mustangs, they are back home next Friday night against Conestoga Valley, and then we'll have that one for you as well. Then they'll head to Lebanon and E-Town and eventually home up against Ephrata on the last week of the season as you look ahead for the last couple games on the schedule for the Mustangs. Wilson and Mifflin, again, this is the 68th meeting in this longtime rivalry. They play for the Gursky-Lynn Trophy, of course, named after the two Hall of Fame coaches who led these programs to such great success. John Gursky here at Wilson. The stadium is named in his honor. And Ray Lynn, the former Mustang coach and athletic director as well. Their pictures are on there. There's a couple of helmets in that trophy. It is a huge trophy. It takes a couple of offensive linemen to carry it. The team that wins it gets to keep it and keep it for the year. And if the other team wins it, well, then you have to hand it back at the end of the game. And that's the case right now because the Bulldogs have won 3 in a row and looking to make it 4 straight. And Wilson will get the football to start half number 2. 28-3 is our score. Bulldogs on top of the Mustangs. And again, Wilson will have it to start period number 3. Our second half kickoff is presented to you by Financial Planning Advisors. Their team of professional advisors can help guide your investment planning, retirement planning, or planning for the cost of your child's college education. Less than 2% of high school athletes receive a college scholarship. Financial Planning Advisors can help you plan for the increasing costs of college. Get Financial Planning Advisors working on your team. Call them 610-376-6334 or go to financialpa.com. Some confusion on a kickoff return and running with it and trying to get loose and not getting loose is Monty Greer. Good job by the Mustangs to tie him up. Guy Campitelli on the tackle. Flags down all over the field. Let's let this thing get sorted out.
I think there's a block in the back on the return there. Nice return there by Greer, but great tackle there by Guy Campitelli, grabbing a hold of Greer's leg and just would not let him go.
So the Bulldogs were penalized 5 times in the first half. We're going to get penalized here on the opening kickoff. It is going to be a hold on the Wilson to start the second half. And so the Bulldogs, who started the game in great field position after Mifflin fumbled the opening kickoff. Well, Wilson didn't fumble this kickoff, but they do penalize themselves deep into their own territory. And they're going to start inside their own 10 at the 6-yard line.
We'll see if Mason Young can keep this completion streak alive.
5 for 5 to start. Corell Akings is back, sidecar to his right. And he's going to get the carry. And Akings finds a little bit of daylight across the 10 and eventually tripped up at about the 14-yard line. Good 8-yard pickup for Corell Akings on his first carry of the second half.
Yeah, out of shotgun. Mason Young just handed off like a delayed draw there to Akins. Akins took it up the middle. Nice little shifty run up the middle for 8 yards.
Third carry of the game for Akins. It's 2nd down and 2 now for the Bulldogs. Young has 2 receivers on his left, 1 on his right. Glover wing on the right. And the give is to Akins following the blocking of his tight end, trying to push his way for a first down and still dragging forward. Good job by Akins not to get that knee on the ground and ends up moving the sticks on a first down run out to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, that was some hard-fought yards there by Akins. I don't know if they had him by the face mask or what, but he was leaning backwards trying to get the extra yards, and he's down there talking to the official now about it. I don't know what that was, but tough run there by Akins for the first down.
Terrific all-around athlete, starter of the basketball team and a county championship team for the Wilson Bulldogs. Carries it 4 times now for 27 yards at first down. Here, the ball's on the ground on the exchange. Young picks it up, eludes a tackle, but he is in trouble, and he's going down. Jaden Jimenez will wrap him up. The Bulldogs avoid a complete disaster, but they are going to lose yardage on the play.
Not sure. There's another miscommunication there with a handoff, or it slipped out of Mason Young's hands there, or what, but definitely a
they call that the mesh point, do they not,
Matt
Lytle? The mesh point.
The mesh point. That was a broken play, and it was good that Mason Young did not turn it over.
Falls on it 3 yards back, and Jimenez falls on him, so it's 2nd down and 13 now for the Bulldogs.
Mesh point, always the quarterback's fault. Remember that.
As it should be. There's a handoff for Akings. Good quick hitter. And Akings will take it across the 20 to the 23-yard line. Gain of about 5 back. Puts the Bulldogs now in a 3rd and about 7, depending on where they spot this football, which is going to be just shy of the 23.
Similar to that delayed draw, but there was no delay on that handoff. That was handed to Akings, and Akings hit the hole hard off the left side, off the left tackle run there for about 3 or 4 yards.
So we'll call it 3rd and 7 for the Bulldogs. They need to get to their own 30 to move the sticks. Big spot here for the Mustang defense, trying to come up with a play here early on in the 3rd quarter. They trail at 28-3. Long snap, trying to get the Mustangs to move. They don't. Young wants to throw for it. Looking down the middle for Glover. He's covered. The ball knocked out of his hands. Young again picks it up, and the Mustangs will fall on him again. Coming in and busting it up in the backfield was Jimenez again. I don't know if he knocked it out of Young's hands or not, but the ball was on the ground, and fortunately for Mason Young, it bounced right back up to him for the 2nd time in 3 plays.
Yeah, it was, again, you're right. I don't know if the ball was knocked out of his hands or he made a wise decision. He was looking down the field, and the clock went off in his head and scrambled, looking to scramble, make a play with his feet. Ended up losing the grasp and lost yard on the play. 4th and 9.
So a huge play there for the Mustangs defense, and they are going to get the football back, and they stand to get decent field position as the Mustangs, Chase Herb will punt it, and LeBron Leaf is back to try and return it, but he's not going to get a chance. He's going to have to back up, and eventually it will come to a stop at around the 40-yard line. So Governor Mifflin down 28-3 with 8:43 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Will get its first touch here in the 3rd, and they will start with good field position from their own 40-yard line. So good job by the Mustang defense to come up with a stop. Now there is a flag on the away from the play on the other side of the field. The officials are talking this one over with. Ball right now is spotted at the 40, but it's going to be against Wilson. Illegal man downfield is the preliminary call. Doug Doms out with the proverbial hands up, palms up, saying, we did what? So now Tim Sumner, the referee, is going to come over to explain it to him. In the meantime, I would imagine Nick Morrissey's going to get an explanation as to what the situation is here on the call. And we'll all wait to find out. I think they were making the Marine kick. Nick Morrissey now is going to get an explanation. There's something about the start of the 3rd quarter when we were here. We had a drone delay when we were here the last time. Now now we got a confusion delay.
Yeah, just
it's something weird about the start of the 3rd quarter in West Lawn when WEU's in town.
Pick that flag up and let's play football.
Well, they picked the football up. Now they're moving it back.
So it looks like it's against Wilson.
It's definitely against Wilson for an illegal man downfield. The question is it a re-kick or is it spot? It looks like it's going to be a spot, and if that's the case, he's going to put the ball in Wilson territory. They're going to mark it off from the 40. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty against Wilson, and Mifflin's going to get the football in Wilson territory at the 45-yard line. So a huge change of events when this thing shakes out. As the Mustangs stand to get tremendous field position, they're going to be at the Wilson 45-yard line. And the Mustangs take advantage of it, down 28-3. Leaf threw it just twice in the first half. Cam Overly goes in motion from right side to left. Leaf wants to throw it here. Looking for a little go route, and the pass is going to be incomplete, but it's going to be a penalty against the Bulldogs. They sent Joe Murray on a go route, and I think Corell Akings may have grabbed him.
Yeah, looking for the nice throw by LeBron Leaf there. Just aired it out, looking for Murray. And Murray, I don't know if Murray got tied up there with Akings, but I definitely think this is going to be a pass interference call on Akings.
And that is indeed the call. So another penalty against the Bulldogs, but that may have been the right call by Akings because if Murray gets deep on him, he may have been in the end zone. So Aking's just taking a chance of getting called for the penalty instead. The pass interference will give Mifflin another first down here. And they've got the ball now at the Bulldog 30-yard line, first down and 10. More than one way to get it done right now for the Mustangs. Moving it to the Wilson 30-yard line on back-to-back penalties. Leaf again in the shotgun. Again, Overly goes in motion. Same look as the last play. And they're going to try this time a little slant route to Murray, and it's caught for a first down.
Great throw and catch there by LeBron Leaf to Murray on the backside slant. Where's this throwing been? That was the fourth throw by Mifflin of the game. LeBron Leaf put that on the money.
Down to the 17-yard line. A gain of 13 on the play as Murray gets his first completion. First and 10 for the Mustangs at the Wilson 17-yard line. Clock at 8:15 and counting here in the third quarter. Leaf again from the shotgun. Two receivers each way, and he's looking to throw it again. Now he's going to get chased out of the pocket. He's got room to run. He's going to take off. He gets bumped to the ground inside the 15, leans to about the 12. He picked up 5.
Yeah, nice little scramble there by LeBron Leaf, keeping his eyes downfield, ended up wisely tucking the ball, and Malachi Tolles, senior defensive lineman, wrapped him up with pursuit, running him down from behind.
But he got 5 to the 12. That's a dangerous component in the open field when LeBron Leaf gets those shoulders squared, and he had room to run. So he picks up 5. Dina Tal, the tight end, is now split out on the left side with Stewart slot left.
He has showed us he can throw on the run.
He's under
earlier to Overly.
He's under center now on 2nd and 5. Kalis the back in the backfield. Stewart goes in motion to give his to the fullback, and he spins his way inside the 10 and down close to the 5. First down and goal to go.
I'll tell you what, Kalis has a beautiful spin move. He lowered his shoulders, spin, juked, and got those extra yardage for the first down. A great hard run in there by Kalis.
A huge gain for Nick Kalis. He got 6. Just about every run.
And hard running.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's up against that defensive front.
Absolutely.
It's
been 2 and 3 and 2 and 3. And he got 6 that time, and the Mustangs are at the 6. First down, goal to go. Again, same look. 2 receivers each way with just Kalis in the backfield. Overly in motion from right side to left. Looking for the little slant in again for Murray, and not the pass is incomplete. And Corell Aking's there on the coverage.
Aking's all over him. Great coverage there, and Murray could have pulled that in. That was a great throw there by LeBron Leaf. Put that ball right where it needed to be.
So they went right back to that slant end that worked before to Murray for the first down gain. And the incomplete pass makes it 2nd down and goal to go from the 6. Dina Tal and
side note, I work out with Murray's aunt, and she definitely can put up more weight than he can.
Give his to Kalis. Kalis works his way down. Did he get in? No. They're going to spot him at the 1. Nick Kalis again with a tough running inside. Brownback bounces him to the ground. 3rd down, goal to go from the 1-yard line for Governor Mifflin.
I don't know where these Governor Mifflin Mustangs find these fullbacks, but it was the same thing with Gerner last year. These guys are just they're just like a Mike Allstott, just pounders. They just keep pounding away and just tough slobber knocker football.
3rd down, goal to go now. Leaf comes to the sidelines. There's actually a flag on the play. I didn't see the flag. It's a penalty against Governor Mifflin. So instead of being 3rd and goal at the 1, Mustangs are going to get backed up here on a penalty. They have not yet walked off the penalty.
Unsportsmanlike?
That's what they're saying, but they haven't walked the penalty off yet. Now they're walking it. Unsportsmanlike conduct is the penalty against Mifflin. That's a killer for the Mustangs. Instead of being 3rd and goal at the 1, it's going to get pushed back to the 19-yard line.
Yeah, if it was at the 1, it'd get all the way down to the 1.
Yeah, but
15 yards.
It's a 6. It should be at the 21. That's the 16-yard line. All right, now we got it. 16-yard line is where they spot it.
about 15 yards, make it 3rd and goal from the 16.
So it's 3rd down and goal now for Governor Mifflin. So the play actually stood in the run to Kalis. It was after the play, and that's what cost them 15. Leaf again looking for the go route into the corner of the end zone, and the pass is caught.
Did he pick it off?
No, it was intercepted. It was intercepted in the end zone,
wow.
I believe.
Wow. That was a beautiful fade throw by LeBron Leaf.
Carell Akings picked it off in the end zone.
Carell Akins showed his basketball skills there. He went up with one hand and pulled that ball in for an interception. That was a heck of a talented play there by Akins.
And it stops the Mustang drive. Mifflin did what they wanted to do, which was to grind it down the field, but the pass into the end zone is picked off by Carell Akings. 2nd turnover of the game for Governor Mifflin, and on the touchback, Wilson will get the football at the 20. 28-3, Bulldogs on top. 6:22 left to go in the 3rd quarter. And on the Carell Akings interception, Wilson has it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Tremendous play in the end zone by Carell Akings somehow to come up with that interception. He's back at the tailback spot, sidecar right of Mason Young, who's got a receiver on each side. Mustangs sell out. Young looking for the go route, looking downfield. It's picked off. Patrick Stewart on the other end picks it off for Governor Mifflin. And on the return, he's got it right back in Wilson territory. So after an interception on one side, Patrick Stewart comes back and picks it off on the other side.
So Mason Young's going to want this throwback. That was a force down the field. It was another seam route. His guys were covered. Stewart was right there, and he still threw the ball. Just a bad decision there, and it's a coaching opportunity tomorrow. But I'll tell you what, that's his first incomplete throw. I mean, it was complete, but to the wrong team. But it was definitely a decision he could have dropped down to his second read and thrown it underneath rather than going for the home run.
The man on the spot for the Mustangs, Patrick Stewart, with the interception, and the Bulldogs defense back out there. The Mustangs starting from the Wilson 42-yard line. Stewart lined up as a tailback. He's going to get the toss on the option. Waiting to get a block. He gets that block from his fullback, Kalis. Turns it into just a 2-yard gain, but Stewart for a moment looked like he was pinned in his own backfield, and then he ran around the block from Kalis for a gain of a couple.
And going back to that play by Mason Young, that interception, that was an incredible interception by Stewart too. Getting over there, picking that ball off.
So it turns out to be just a gain of 1 for Stewart to the 41-yard line. Carry number 10 on the night for Stewart. Kalis has carried it 15 times. Leaf has carried it 6. 2nd and 9 at the 41. Again, that pistol set with Leaf in the shotgun. He's going to throw it this time. He flips it out to Campitello, and he pays for it. Jaden Carpenter came up and lowered him and knocked him off his feet, and a loss on the play. Back to the 44-yard line.
Nice explosive play there by Carpenter, and even better job by Campitelli holding on to that ball because he didn't even have a chance after bringing that ball in. Carpenter was in his lap.
Loss of 3 on the play. Goes as a completion, but a loss of 3 back to the 44-yard line. Puts the Mustangs now in a 3rd and 12. We turn inside of 5 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter. Neither team has scored as of yet here in this period. It's 28-3, Bulldogs on top. Campitelli and Murray are going to split out to the right side with Campitelli in the slot. Haven't looked for the tight end, Dina Towle, as of yet. He's lined up on the left side. And Leaf is going to roll out to the right. Stops, plants, throws, has a man. Campitelli underneath. Route is going to be good for a Governor Mifflin first down inside the Wilson 30 down to about the 25-yard line.
Love it. Love the play call there. A roll out, 2-man route. Just you had a vertical with Campitelli running the wheel route, pullback, comeback, and a nice throw to Leaf to Campitelli. Campitelli enough for the first down. Nice throw and catch there by the Governor Mifflin Mustangs.
Goes for 18 to the Mustang 26. How about the Mustangs in this second half? They've got 4 first downs, 2 of them through the air, 2 of them, by the way, of Bulldog penalties. Now the receivers will flip sides. Campitelli left slot, Murray split left. And here's a toss pitch for Stewart. Stewart almost pinned in his own backfield. Waits, gets outside, ends up picking up a couple. As Stewart will take it inside the 25 and down to about the 23.
Great pursuit there by Wyatt, linebacker, and also Brownback, too. Number 42 and 44 were there to just wrap Stewart up, not letting him get any more yards downfield.
Gain of 3 on the play for Stewart. Stewart had some great success early on in this football game, but the Bulldogs have started to bottle him up a little bit. He gets 3 there, puts the Mustangs in a 2nd and 7. Now the receivers, same 2. Campitelli and Murray split out on the right side, so kind of flipping sides of the field.
Speaking of Campitelli, Guy Campitelli, number 21, that's the son of Rob Campitelli. I played against Rob Campitelli at Central Catholic. I got to tell you, Guy is a lot faster than his old man.
Probably doesn't play as much golf, though.
No, he does not.
Roll out Leaf looking for the end zone, and guess who? It's Murray wide open in the end zone. Governor Mifflin puts 6 on the board. Joe Murray wide open, and Leaf found him for the score.
Yeah, broken coverage there by the Wilson Bulldogs. Murray was behind him, not a defender within 5 yards. Nice job by LeBron Leaf finding him, putting the ball on him. Touchdown, Mustangs.
Second touchdown pass reception of the season for Murray, the third thrown by LeBron Leaf on the year, and the Mustangs get the first points of the second half on the touchdown pass from LeBron Leaf to Joe Murray. On now to attempt the extra point for the Mustangs is Lance Koenig, and the senior bangs it through the uprights with 3:38 left to go in the third quarter. When we come back to West Lawn, the Mustangs chip away the score. Wilson 28, Governor Mifflin 10. Back with more high school football presented by Savage Auto Group on WEEU after this.
Savage 61 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is once again the #1 rated auto dealership in Pennsylvania. Thinking it's time to trade up for something newer? We offer the most insane trade-in values you'll find anywhere. Whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, our dedicated team will make sure you drive away happy. Visit us today at savage61.com and see why we're Pennsylvania's top choice.
To find out how WEU can be your affordable advertising partner, call 610-345-7338.
If you are buying or selling a home, contact RE/MAX real estate agent Phil Macaronis. With over 20 years of experience and a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame, Phil does it all, from residential to commercial real estate sales. And with his large catalog of repeat and referral customers, you know you can depend on Phil Macaronis, no matter where you're looking for your next home. Call 610-670-2770 or call Phil directly anytime at 610-858-4555.
28-10 now our score, 3:38 left to go in the third quarter. Couple of interceptions, one by Corell Akings in the end zone, denying the Governor Mifflin Mustangs a touchdown, but the Mustangs got it right back on the Patrick Stewart interception, and they put it in the end zone. Here's a short kick that's taken by one of the up men, fumbled for a moment, but the Bulldogs will have pretty good field position when this is all said and done, as the return is made by Braden Farrell, who's had a busy night on defense for the Bulldogs. He's wrapped up at the 40. That's where Wilson will start, 1st and 10. Bulldogs with just 1 first down so far here in this second half.
That was a hot potato that was fired at Farrell on that kickoff there. It was a nice job by him, getting on top of that ball. He's a linebacker, so he's not used to having that ball fired at him like that. He was the up back on that kickoff. So nice play there by Farrell getting on the ball.
So Mason Young, who had the 5-for-5 first half, first throw here in the second half was picked off. See how the senior quarterback recovers here. Lined up in the shotgun with Akings sidecar right. Glover wing on the right. Young's got 2 receivers on his right and 1 on his left. Give is to Akings, following Glover around the left side. He's got 5. He's got 10. Cuts it back at midfield. Corell Akings is in open territory. Corell Akings is in 30, and no one's going to catch him now. Corell Akings will take it 60 yards. Touchdown, but there is a flag back at the 45-yard line.
Great play call there. That was just a sweep to Corell Akins to the left side, to the wide side of the field, following Glover up the sidelines to about the 50-yard line, maybe the 45-yard line of Mifflin. Then he cuts it back across the grain, brings it all the way over here to the boundary side of the field, and takes it the distance. There was nobody touched. I think he may have went untouched on that play.
I think you're 100% right, but unfortunately for him, it's going to look good on film if nobody notices the holding penalty. It looks like against the Bulldogs.
In a straight line, he just sprinted 80 yards.
Yeah, he did. But unfortunately for Wilson, the penalties continue to rack up now. This is going to cost them not only 6 points on the board, but a lot of real estate as well. It's going to back them up on their 9th penalty of the game. So the line of scrimmage, it looks like, is going to be the 34-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 16 coming up So Akings gets 4 yards, and that's where the holding penalty comes. Going to come to the spot. They're going to go right back. This time it's Monty Greer who's in there as a back. He turns the right side, and it gets popped. Coming up and making the stick for Governor Mifflin was Dylan Worley. Back after a week out, and Worley made Greer pay for it.
Worley and Leaf both in on that tackle, and Worley definitely brought the wood on that hit because Wilson Greer went backwards. It was a pop. Heard it from up here in the stands.
First carry of the game for Monty Greer goes for 7.
Personal foul now call on Governor Mifflin.
Might be the
hit
tackle.
To the head.
Yep, that's what it's going to be. The hit up high by Worley. He came with the forearms up high towards the head of Greer, and that's what's going to be. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty, a personal foul penalty against Governor Mifflin. So just the second penalty of the game for the Mustangs, but it's a costly one. It'll give Wilson a first down now, as they'll walk off 15 yards, and they'll walk it into Governor Mifflin territory at the Mustang 44-yard line. So 15-yard personal foul penalty against the Mustangs, and the Bulldogs right back to the line of scrimmage. They bunch their receivers now, 2 left and 1 right. Here is Greer again to the 40, 35, 30, and knocked out of bounds. Stewart comes up to knock him out of bounds, but not before Monty Greer will run for a Bulldog first down.
Yeah, they had a nice lineup there. They had trips receivers to the left, and they handed the ball off to Greer into the boundary on a little quick jet sweep to the boundary, and Greer showed his speed up the sidelines there for a big gain.
14 yards on the pickup for Greer to the Mustang 30 as we're inside of 3 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Greer stays in there at the back, giving Akings a spell, and he's going to get another handoff here. Follows his blocking, 25-20, and Stewart again comes up to make the tackle, but not before Greer will pick up another first down inside the 20 and down to about the 16-yard line.
That was a replay of last down. It was the same formation, same set, handoff to Greer to the boundary, and Greer took it up the sidelines and tackled by Stewart. Stewart, touchdown-saving tackles back-to-back out of his safety position.
They spot him down at the 17, so 13 more on the first down run for Greer. First and 10 at the 17. Right back to the same spot. Greer, same play. Trying to get outside. Won't have as much room this time as he's wrapped up and brought down. Worley in on the tackle for Governor Mifflin along with Gunnar Gebhardt.
Third. Greer to the boundary, out of trips formation to the left, and Wilson's making a statement here. We're gonna pound it down your throat.
4 more yards on the carry for Greer.
Same formation. Will we see it a fourth time?
Second down and 6 now at the 13-yard line. Mifflin almost moved. Mason Young will take a look back, see what Jeremy Palm wants him to be in. And it's the same thing. Here comes Greer following his blocking. 10-5 touchdown. This time, Greer cuts it upfield, and he'll take it in for the touchdown. Monty Greer from 13 yards out, and 6 more for the Bulldogs.
Nice run there by Monty Greer. That was his 4th run, same play. And Stewart, a little juke cut there on Stewart to get him into the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
So after Governor Mifflin puts a touchdown on the board through the air, Wilson comes back to put one in the end zone on the ground. Terrell Akings, after that long run that was called back for a penalty, comes out for a breather, and they give it to Monty Greer for 5 straight plays. He puts it in the end zone. And on now for the extra point attempt is Preston Oxenrider, and his extra point is good. 2:17 left to go in the third quarter. When we come back to West Lawn, Bulldogs now on top of the Governor Mifflin Mustangs, 35-10. More high school football presented by Savage Auto Group when we come back after this.
Tripping faucet, AC on the fritz, breakers keep tripping. One call does it all. Keith Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. For 30 years, we've handled everything from routine maintenance to full system installs. Residential and commercial, we're fast, fair, and always reliable.
Call 877-KEITH for you. That's 877-KEATH for you. Or visit carlkeith.com. Solving problems since before AI was a thing.
Redner's Markets is a part of the Berks County community, proudly employee, local, and American-owned since 1970. Your support has made Redner's a staple, and your continued commitment is rewarded with the Redner's Rewards Program. Shopping at the markets earns you big savings with grocery deals, special offers and services, and surprise savings. Rewards members save at at the pump too, with discounts on fuel prices at our 7 Renders Quick Stops and many more select locations. Shop, earn, and save with the Renders mobile app. Sign up at the store or online at rendersmarkets.com.
2 minutes, 17 seconds left to go in the third quarter, and the touchdown run for Monty Greer from 13 yards out makes it a 35-10 game. First touchdown of the season for Monty Greer. Kickoff return from Stewart, backs up inside his own 10 from about his own 7, 15, and he won't get away. Great job of coming up and making the tackle. It was Ethan Harding again on special teams for the Bulldogs who makes the tackle, and Mifflin starts deep in its own territory back at about the 16-yard line.
Yeah, nice shoestring tackle there by Ethan Harding. Stewart had nowhere to go.
So the 17-yard line is where the Mustangs will start. Mustangs go a little more aerial here in half number 2. And again, if that not for that great play in the interception by Carell Akings, could be a completely different landscape of this football game. But the Mustangs back to work, 1st and 10 from the 17-yard line. Akings' interception of LeBron Leaf in the end zone. Now they're going to split backs on either side of LeBron Leaf. Kalis and Stewart on either side. Leaf wants to throw it, but he's going to tuck. Is he going to run? No, he's going to dump it off for Stewart. Gets a block, trying to get away, and will fight for and appear to get a first down pickup.
Nice job there. I love the poise by LeBron Leaf. He had a 2-man route. He had Campitelli on a post, and he had again Murray deep down the field, and he took his underneath. I think it was 3rd progression down to Stewart. Dumped it to the back, and should be enough.
There's a penalty. They're pointing in the direction of Wilson.
Should be enough for a first down.
It was right at the sticks.
Regardless of the penalty.
Yep. It's at the 26-yard line. It's either a yard short or it's 1st and 10, but it looks like a penalty at the end of the play is going to ensure that the Mustangs are going to get the first down. So it's a 9-yard completion to Stewart on the completion, and then a penalty against the Bulldogs at the end of the play to add on. First catch of the game for Stewart. And this is going to be a 15-yard personal foul penalty against the Bulldogs. Out to the 41-yard line. Leaf throws it into a crowd looking for Dina Tao, and it was in and out of his hands. There were 2 defenders all over him and 1 in the area. Unfortunately for the Mustangs, that's incomplete.
Harding and Carpenter were all over that. It was a great throw by LeBron Leaf. Hit Dina Tao right in the chest, but it was traffic. Defenders all around him.
Leaf 6 for 10 in this football game for a total of 65 yards. And he was 1 for 2 in the first half. So it's very much of a different look for the Mustangs, who will send Dina Tao split out to the left side. Stewart slot left. Campitelli and Murray on the right side, with Kalis, the fullback, directly behind Leaf under center. It's overly right side, and he goes in motion. It's Kalis, and they bottle him up immediately. Nothing doing that time for the fullback as he has stood up at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd down.
Yeah, really nice job there by that front 4 of the Wilson Bulldogs. That pursuit, that defensive line just making plays.
So make it 3rd down and a long 10 coming up. Kalis pretty much battled up a little bit before the line of scrimmage. So it's right now at the 41. They've got to get across midfield to the Bulldog 48-yard line to pick up the first down. So 3rd down and 11 coming up for Governor Mifflin. 1 minute left to go in the third quarter. Bulldogs lead it 35-10. Again, 4 receivers, 2 right, 2 left for Leaf out of the shotgun this time. Throwing for it. Looks left, goes back to his right. Pass is caught, I believe, by Murray. He stood up before the 50 at about the 49. Going to bring up 4th down and 3 for Governor Mifflin.
Nice throw and catch to the boundary there between Leaf and Murray. Just not enough. Murray needs to know the down and distance and make sure he's running that curl route, getting enough for the sticks. He was about 2 yards short. Again, down and distance. Know the down and distance and be prepared. Now Mustangs, obviously 35-10, are going for it with 22 seconds left here in the third.
Yeah, they went for it at one point, 4th down in the first half, and did not get it. Wilson took advantage of a short field, but this is a different scenario for the Mustangs. No reason not to go for it here from the 49. Leaf wanting to throw for it. Is he going to have time? He's going to try to run out of there. He's going to spin, and he's going to come up just short. LeBron Leaf with a great effort, but he will not get the first down. Glover's there to help wrap him up. a yard short, and the Bulldogs are going to take over on downs.
Jay-Z, Hector, Brownback, and Glove are all in on the tackle there to keep LeBron Leaf from getting that first down. But great second effort by Leaf trying to get up. I mean, he's about a yard shy of that first down.
And that will be the final play of the third quarter. I'm just making sure there's not a flag on the play because the officials are looking at the Mifflin. They're going to bring the sticks out. That's what they're doing. They're bringing the sticks out to measure just to make sure that he did not get the first down. And he is about a couple of foot or so short. So it will be fourth down, and the Wilson Bulldogs will have the football when we start quarter number 4 after 3 in West Lawn. The Gursky Lynn Trophy on the line. The final 12 minutes when we come back. Wilson on top, 35-10.
This season, stick with everyone's favorite snack, Diefenbach's Kettle Chips. Legend has it Mark Diefenbach loved kettle cooked chips so much he turned his Berks County kitchen into the ultimate snack factory. Now, over 60 years later, we're still making that delicious PA crafted crunch with the same passion and quality right where it all began. So crunch into some flavorful Diefenbach's Kettle Chips today and snack on a delicious tradition. Get ready to save big at the Habitat for Humanity Restore. For just 1 week only, September 23rd through the 30th, take 20% off brand new flooring, appliances, and furniture. Whether you're renovating your home or hunting for unique treasures, you'll find it at Restore Berks. Shop smart, save money, and support your community with Habitat for Humanity. 5370 Allentown Pike in Temple. Learn more at restoreberks.org.
High school football tonight on 8:30 a.m. WEEU in Reading. We start quarter number 4 alongside Matt Lytle. My name is Bob McCool. The Mustangs come up about a yard short, and so Wilson will take over first and 10 at their own 49-yard line. They lead 35-10. Little toss sweep here for Carell Akings back in the game. Has an edge and has what appears to be a Wilson first down, depending on where Carell Akings stepped out of bounds, which looks like it's right at the sticks at the 41-yard line. However, there's another flag on the play.
Very similar scheme there, right? You trips to the boundary. You loaded up to the boundary there, and just one receiver set to the field. They tossed it to Akins on the sweep to the field side, and Akins had enough for the first down, but looks like there's another flag on the play.
Oh. By the way, in Citizens Bank Park.
Coming back.
Yep, coming back again against Wilson. This will be the 10th penalty of the game, at least against the Bulldogs. Headed to the top of the 9th at Citizens Bank Park. Phillies on top of the Minnesota Twins by a 3-1 score.
Schwarber have any dingers?
I'm looking. Nope. Edmundo Sosa did. Great job by Aaron Nola, who goes 8 innings tonight. Gave up just 2 hits and a run. How about that? Johan Duran in to try to get the save for the Phils in the top of the 9th.
Sosa's got the hot bat. That's 4 home runs in what, 3 games?
That is correct. Mason Young flushed out of the pocket. Mason Young looking for somebody open. A little shovel pass forward, and the pass is caught by Akings. So Mason Young being chased by Gebhardt and company. Just a little toss forward to Akings and avoids himself a sack and picks up a couple yards as well.
Yeah, smart play. Rather than get tackled and whatnot, just shovel pass it forward to Akings for a positive play. Nice positive play, scrambling there by Mason Young.
Back into Governor Mifflin territory. The Bulldogs have it now second down and call it 5 at the Governor Mifflin 46-yard line. First catch tonight for Akings. This time Young is going to keep it himself, and he's going to get bounced down as he is roughed up at about the 42 or 43-yard line.
Little zone read there between him and Akings. He rode Akins quite a bit on that handoff, rode it and then pulled it out to the last minute, got up the field just short of the first down. You got 3rd and 2 here for the Bulldogs.
From the 43-yard line of 42-yard line. And this time the give is to Akings. Big hole, and he's going to get through. Akings works his way through some traffic inside the 40 and down to the Governor Mifflin 37-yard line. First down, Bulldogs.
There was no read or delay there. That was a handoff to Akings following Glover up the middle. He had plenty of blocking there and plenty of room to run. First down, Bulldogs.
6 yards on the gain. Clock continues to run inside of 11 minutes left to go in the football game. Bulldogs first and 10 at the Governor Mifflin 37-yard line. So the Mustangs going through the air more in the second half. The Bulldogs on the ground. Steady diet of Corell Akings in the last series. Monty Greer as well. Glover shifts to a fullback position. They fake the handoff, that little slant in pass, but it's behind Carpenter and incomplete.
So same play as the first half when they went to Dean. Nice little play action, standing up tall in the pocket, throwing the backside slant, and that ball was behind Carpenter.
So the incomplete pass makes it 2nd down and 10 for the Bulldogs. Again, the line of scrimmage is the Governor Mifflin 37-yard line. They're 5 for 5 first half. Young 1 for 3 so far in this second half. That also includes his 6th interception of the season. He does have 3 touchdown passes on the day. That gives him 16 in that category. Glover now shifts out and more to an out receiver, but it's a handoff to Akings, turning the right side, and Akings gets it to about the 30. Tried to slip out of that tackle, but was not able to do so. But Akings picks up 7, puts the Bulldogs in a 3rd and 3.
Nice. I love the window dressing there, motioning Glover out into the boundary and then handing off to Akins in his direction. You just have Glover already outside in the perimeter blocking for Akins. Nice design there. Design run by the Bulldogs.
Definitely a different look. We have not seen that look for the Bulldogs. They shift Glover a lot, but they don't also shift him out to basically a split end spot on the field. But as Matt said, just there to block. It's 3rd and 3. He's lined up his traditional wing here, and the give is to Akings, and they'll stack him up. Good job by the Mustangs to stack him up. And Akings maybe gets a yard to the 29. It's going to bring up 4th down and about 2.
I think that was number 52, Mason Schools, in on the tackle for the Governor Mifflin Mustangs.
You are correct. Stacks him up at the 30. So it's 4th, and it's 2.5, maybe 3, depending upon where you are. Brownback in there now as an extra blocker. He's lined up as a tight end on the right side with Glover there as a wing.
That's some dudes on the right side of the line.
Now Glover shifts, and they're going to follow his blocking, and Akings will take it 20. 15, cuts to the 10. They just run the sweep the other way with Glover out in front. Akings follows his tight end for a 1st down run to the 10-yard line.
Nice open field tackle there by Stewart. It was Stewart and Akings one-on-one down on the 10-yard line, and Stewart made a nice touchdown-saving tackle. Again, Akings following Glover on a sweep into the boundary for a big gain for the Bulldogs.
19 yards on the pickup for Corell Akings to the 10, 1st down, goal to go for the Wilson. 8:45 left to go in the football game. Bulldogs looking for a knockout punch. Greer's in there now as the back in the backfield, giving Akings a breather. Greer's going to get the handoff right side, looks for some daylight, finds a little, and then it closes down at about the 6. It'll be 2nd and goal. 6 carry for Monty Greer to go along with the 10 carries now for Akings. You really can't forget about the carries that Mason Young has had in this game as well. 2nd and goal from the 6. Greer stays in as the back. Glover shifts from right side to left. Young looking to throw for it. Looking for Glover. It's a jump ball, but it's incomplete.
One-on-one route there, had Glover in the corner of the end zone. Is like a fade route, and Glover got spun around. Wasn't sure if it was going to be over his right shoulder or left. Spun around and was just out of reach for him. But nice design there, getting Glover isolated on one-on-one with a defensive back.
It's Cam Overly, who was there, who was contesting with Glover. It forces the incomplete pass, brings up 3rd down. Brownback, who was in there, as we said, as an extra tight end, now will check out. And checking in is Jackson Becker, another receiver. He'll come out to the left side on the slot with Dean split out. And Carpenter will split out. Dean splits out to the right. Carpenter splits out to the left. 3rd down, goal to go from the 6. Young is looking to throw for it again. He's going to get pounded in the backfield. Somehow he got out of that. Still on his feet, looks and finds a receiver in the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
Wow. Worley comes in on a blitz, thinks he has Mason Young wrapped up. Mason Young rips out of the tackle, scrambles out to his right, hits Dean in the back of the end zone on the run. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Great improvisation there by Mason Young, making a big play with his feet and his arm.
And toughness, too, because he got popped. I thought he was going to get knocked to the ground. He put his hand in the dirt, kept himself alive, regained his balance, and then found his receiver in the end zone, Eli Dean, for the touchdown. And the extra point coming now from Oxenrider, and that is good as well. The freshman's got himself a heck of a leg, and he bangs that extra point through. He stays perfect on the night, and with 7:50 left to go now in the football game, Wilson adds on a tremendous play by Mason Young, finding his receiver. Touchdown when we get back to score now. The Bulldogs 42, Governor Mifflin Mustangs 10. More high school football presented by Savage Auto Group when we get back after this.
Hey, Berks County, Chick-fil-A Catering makes game day even better. Choose from a variety of trays, including Chick-fil-A nuggets, mac and cheese, and chocolate chunk cookies. Perfect for your next gathering. Place your order through the Chick-fil-A app, online, or by calling ahead and pick it up at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant at Broadcasting Square, 5th Street Highway, and Exeter Commons. Take cooking off your plate this football season and enjoy the perfect spread with Chick-fil-A Catering. Availability and order requirements vary. See restaurant for details.
WECU is a credit union that understands Pennsylvania, what it means to grow up here, raise a family, start a business. And we're committed to being your financial partner for life. With competitive rates, exclusive member discounts, and modern technology, WECU offers personalized banking that will make you feel right at home. Visit bankingforpa.org and sign up for WECU membership through our partner association, the Pennsylvania Consumer Council. WECU, banking that understands home.
7:50 left to go. Wilson's kickoff this time goes out of bounds, so the Mustangs will take it to the 35-yard line. You know, Matt, in the last couple of years, we've seen Tommy Hunsinger, quarterback for Wilson. We've seen Maddox Gruber last year. Both of those kids were physical football players, like to take on contact. Haven't seen that side of Mason Young that he got popped on that play. Somehow or another able to keep his balance and keep his wits at the same time.
Yeah, Worley is a heck of a player on Mifflin's side of the ball, and he came up and he really stuck Mason Young. Mason Young stayed on his feet, kind of straight arm Worley, got out of the tackle, spun, scrambled out to his right, and kept his eyes down the field and found Dean in the corner of the end zone. It was just a great all-around play there by Young with his feet and his arm, making a big play for his 4th touchdown pass of the night.
And timeout called now by the Mustangs. They had, I'm not sure exactly what they had, but they had David Facey, who is their tackle, split out as a wide receiver. Now they're going to call a timeout. I'm not sure what was going on there or what the idea was, but I think the best thing they could do there was call a timeout. So some confusion cost the Mustangs a timeout. 7:50 left to go. Remind you what's coming up, and that is college football for you tomorrow here on WEU. Kickoff time is at 7:30 as the Penn State Nittany Lions and the Oregon Ducks. Penn State's number 3, Oregon number 6. Kickoff is at 7:30 from Beaver Stadium. Steve Jones and Jack Hamill have the call of the game for you. Our coverage at WEU gets underway at 5:30 with Nittany Extra. Join Rich Garcelle and myself. We're joined by Zach Mills, former Penn State quarterback for Penn State 2002, 03, and 04, and the first official white out game for Penn State back in 2004 against Purdue. And he was the quarterback at that point in time. We'll talk about his memory of those games and how the whiteout has evolved into what will be 110,000 crazy people tomorrow night in State College. We'll have the game for you here at WEU. And then the Eagles and Tampa Bay Bucks on Sunday at 1 o'clock in Tampa. Merrill Reese and Mike Quick will be there for the call of the game. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs following a timeout from the 35-yard line. And new quarterback is in there. It's the freshman Jack Miller who will hand it off for Governor Mifflin. And he'll hand it off to his fellow freshman Rylan Overly. Gets the call, and he'll pick up a couple as Nick Morrissey is going to give some of his youngsters a chance to play here in this game against Wilson. And a gain of a yard on the play for Overly makes it 2nd down and 9 at the 36-yard line.
Yeah, these are key moments here. You know, you got Jack Miller, freshman, 5'9", 128-pound quarterback, getting some needed time to prepare for hopefully the next quarterback under center for Mifflin next year.
2nd down and 9. Miller's going to run the option here, and he'll pick up a couple before he's bear hugged and wrestled to the ground by the Bulldogs after a gain of a couple.
Not only that, he's one play away. If LeBron Leaf gets hurt, he's got to be ready to play. So these are important downs and plays for him to prepare for that one play away scenario.
Jack Miller, the son of T.J. Miller, who was an assistant at Governor Mifflin for a while, was the head coach for Boyertown and is now back on Nick Morrissey's staff as his offensive coordinator. Jack, just a freshman. Nick Morrissey talking very highly of Jack Miller before the game as The run by Miller picked up a couple to the 39-yard line. There's a handoff right up the gut for Overly. It looks like he's going to have enough. Good surge up front by the Mustang offensive line. It's going to give them a first down.
Yeah, that's Rylan Overly's freshman. He's a 6 foot, 184-pound running back linebacker. Big kid for a freshman.
Gains 8 on the play, and the Mustangs pick up a first down. 1st and 10 for Governor Mifflin. They are now at their own 47-yard line with 6 minutes and change remaining. Still a lot left for the Mustangs to play for. They'll be back in Section 2 next week, and we'll be with the Mustangs in Shillington as they'll take on Conestoga Valley. Last year, that was a shootout between the Mustangs and the Buckskins. We'll see how it plays out next Friday night in Shillington. Section 2 LL, Governor Mifflin and Conestoga Valley next Friday night. Here's the option toss for Governor Mifflin. And this time taking the toss is Trevor King, a sophomore for the Mustangs. Gets the carry and takes a pop as Aiden Kramer comes up and makes the stick for the Bulldogs. As the carry for King gets maybe back to the line of scrimmage. That's about it.
Jack was a little premature pitching that ball. He didn't even get it to his read man before he kicked it out. He kicked it out to Trevor King in a hurry, and Trevor didn't have a whole lot of room to run.
Yeah, Jack, as Nick Morrissey said, has to hit the buffet bar a couple times between now and next September. He's just 130 pounds, but they love his potential and his knowledge of the game as he'll hand it off to Overly. And a freshman handing it off to a freshman, gain a couple yards out to the 48-yard line. As Overly gets 2 more, makes it a 3rd down play coming up, and 3rd and about 9 for Governor Mifflin.
Protein milkshake with some ice cream. That'll do it.
So it's 3rd and 9 for the Mustangs. Clock inside of 5 minutes left to go in the game. Don't forget, coming up after our game here, first and foremost, it'll be our Pizza Como post-game show. Matt Light will be down the field. He'll talk with winning coach Doug Doms, our player of the game, brought to you by the Reading Fighting Phils as well. Then we'll throw things back to the studio. The Scoreboard show with Jeff Nolan. Matt Knob will have all the scores, Berks County and beyond, right up until 11:30 tonight. Find out everything that happened in high school football. Here's the passing attempt by Miller and a little slant end that's tipped and batted around and ultimately incomplete. Lucas Kreider, yet another 9th grader out there for the Mustangs, was the intended target, but it's incomplete. It'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, I tell you what, Jack Miller put that ball on the money. It was a great throw, and Lucas Kreider got to get his hands, got to pull that one in for him.
So the incomplete pass will force the Mustangs to punt the football. Looks like LeBron Leaf's night is done in every aspect, including as the punter. Punter now for Governor Mifflin is Jackson Overly. And he gets it off. Pretty good kick.
Number 42. Check that. You're right. Jackson Overly.
On the return this time for Wilson was Jackson Becker. And Becker will take it for a couple yards to about the 25 with 4 minutes left to go in the football game. Wilson will get another possession. I would imagine Doug Doms will do a little bit of what Nick Morrissey did, which is to get a couple of other players in there now that his team has this game under control. And the Bulldogs will indeed bring on some of their second unit offensive players.
Is Jackson a brother to Ryland?
I don't know. There are 2 other. I would assume. I asked Nick Morrissey about how many Overlys have come through Mifflin. He said, I can't count that high. There have been a ton of them. I can tell you that. There have been a lot of Overlys who have come through Governor Mifflin. Here on the run for the Bulldogs.
Wilson has a new quarterback, Cole Peterson.
Cole Peterson, who plays as a linebacker on one side, is the backup quarterback for Young on the other side. He hands it off. And on the carry is Tyler Ulrich, the junior, carries it for what looks like a Bulldog first down. As Wilson has picked up all of its first downs with the exception of one on the ground in the second half, and that one was by way of a penalty and a personal foul against Governor Mifflin. Bulldogs have it 1st and 10 now at their own 37-yard line. And movement before the snap of the football. I believe it was the Mustangs who jumped first, but we'll let the guys in the striped jerseys decide that. Yep, this one's going to be against the Mustangs. 3:25 left to go now in the football game. Game is over in Philly. The Philadelphia Phillies did beat the Minnesota Twins tonight by a final score of 3-1. Great job by Aaron Nola. Joan Duran getting the save for the Phils. Peterson going to run the option, but another whistle before the snap of the football.
False start, I think.
Oh, this was against Mifflin again as they're pointing. It's going to give them a first down. So back-to-back penalties against the Mustangs. They're jumping off sides on the defensive side. Give Wilson a first down. Again, these are guys who are getting a chance to get in there for the first time and getting a little jumpy. And so after back-to-back 5-yard encroachment penalties against the Mustangs, it's 1st and 10 for Wilson at their own 47. Peterson want to throw for it. Pass down the field. It's caught. And taking a hit and holding on the football is Gabe Niembo, sophomore tight end. Catches the pass in Governor Mifflin territory down at the Mustang 35-yard line.
Cole Peterson throws a nice ball. He threw a nice ball down the field to Gabe Niembo, sophomore, 6'2", 210-pound tight end. It was a nice throw and catch there by the backup quarterback and tight end.
17 yards on a hookup in Mifflin territory for Wilson. 1st and 10 at the Mustang 35-yard line. Peterson from the shotgun. Handoff is to Ulrich. Gets out of a tackle in his own backfield, but he will not get out of his own backfield. Great job by the Mustangs to get back there first and slow him down. Ulrich fought through it, but ultimately the pursuit for Governor Mifflin will prevent him from gaining anything. It was Anthony Brown who was in there first and in the backfield. That's another freshman out there for the Mustangs. Nick Morrissey was talking to us about the fact that he's got some freshmen that he likes in his 9th grade team, and he's got some numbers in his younger classes. Some of them are getting a chance tonight. Here's Ulrich on a toss sweep to the right side, 35-30. Breaks loose at the first tackle and then gets wrapped up at about the 31. That's a tough gain of about 5 or 6 for Ulrich.
I think he said he had 4 freshmen that he brought up from that class. And, he definitely he's excited about that freshman class because he's got about 30 freshmen coming up, and then he's got about 30 8th graders, so it looks promising for Mifflin in the future.
3rd down, and we'll call it about 6 for the Bulldogs to pick up the first down. As the clock winding its way down, 1 minute and 20 left to go. So the Bulldogs will probably take one more snap after this, regardless of whether they get the first down or not. Peterson going to throw for a little flanker screen. Pass is caught. Colin Yautz on the catch. And Yautz is going to get that first down, still on his feet inside the 20, and finally wrapped up down at about the 17-yard line. So the Bulldogs will get yet another first down on the pass completion from Peterson to Yautz to the 17-yard line.
Yeah, nice job there by Yautz catching that ball and getting it up, getting those extra yards after the catch, getting this playing time towards the end of the game. That's second completion there for Cole Peterson. So 2 for 2 for the backup quarterback.
So Wilson will line up here and probably take a knee now. Peterson going to line up in a shotgun, however, so maybe not. 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line. Yes, he will. Just take the snap, take a knee, and that should do it. They will not have to take another snap. So the Wilson Bulldogs win their 4th in a row over their rival, the Governor Mifflin Mustangs, their 41st in this series. The Gursky-Lynn Trophy is staying in West Lawn as the Bulldogs win it over the Governor Mifflin Mustangs 42-10. Take a timeout, back with our postgame show on WEEU after this.
Noisy, squeaky, or uneven garage doors? Do they snap, crackle, or pop? Having trouble opening or closing? Get a garage door tune-up now from Overhead Door Reading. For just $99, we'll inspect, lubricate, and adjust your garage doors so they run smoothly and quietly. Don't get stuck in the driveway this winter. Call today and ask for our tune-up special. Serving the community since 1965. Overhead Door Reading. We're more than just doors. OverheadDoorReading.com.
Spots Insurance Group is a proud sponsor of Berks County Sports. We're an award-winning nationwide agency you can trust, insuring what means most to you for over 32 years. We specialize in auto, home, renters, business, and life insurance. Remember, when you think insurance, think Spots. Visit us at spotsforinsurance.com. That's SPOTTS, the number 4, insurance.com.
Savage 61 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is once again the #1 rated auto dealership in Pennsylvania. Thinking it's time to trade up for something newer? We offer the most insane trade-in values you'll find anywhere. Whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, our dedicated team will make sure you drive away happy. Visit us today at savage61.com and see why we're Pennsylvania's top choice.
To find out how WEU can be your affordable advertising partner, call 610-345-7338.
If you are buying or selling a home, contact RE/MAX real estate agent Phil Macaronis. With over 20 years of experience and a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame, Phil does it all, from residential to commercial real estate sales. And with his large catalog of repeat and referral customers, you know you can depend on Phil Macaronis, no matter where you're looking for your next home. Call 610-670-2770 or call Phil directly anytime at 610-858-4555.
Welcome to the Pizza Como of Temple postgame show. Pizza Como is a family-owned business going strong on the Fifth Street Highway for over 50 years, serving the finest Italian dishes, Berks County's best variety of Italian sandwiches, and legendary pizza. Right next door is The Yard, a virtual golf experience. Keep your game sharp all year round. And if you love sports cards and memorabilia, stop in to buy, sell, or trade. Pizza Como in The Yard, 4600 Fifth Street Highway in Temple. The Wilson Bulldogs taking care of the Governor Mifflin Mustangs by a final score of 42-10. Bulldogs never trailed in this game because they got out to the fast start thanks to Governor Mifflin fumbling on the opening kickoff. The Mustangs fumbled it, and the Bulldogs took over in Mifflin territory. And on the very first snap of the football game, the Wilson Bulldogs and Mason Young went to work, and it was a precursor of things to come as Mason Young just flipped it out to Jaden Carpenter, went 31 yards for the touchdown, and the Bulldogs were off and running. The Mustangs played them tough for quite a while, including on their next possession when they took a drive, 14 plays, 70 yards, and they ate up 7 minutes of the first quarter clock. That's what the Mustangs were going to have to do if they were going to be successful in this football game. Couldn't turn it over and put together long, sustained drives, whether they scored or whether they didn't, just keeping the ball out of the Wilson offense in their potent hands. And by doing so, the Mustangs were able to shorten up the game a little bit. They ultimately had to settle for a field goal after being in a 1st and goal at the 2. But the Mustangs got a field goal out of it, made it a 7-3 game. But the Bulldogs, with a couple of touchdown passes from Mason Young, who really spread it around nicely tonight and indeed had himself a heck of a game. In fact, so good. In fact, he is our player of the game, brought to you by the Reading Fighting Phils and their all-new Redner's Event Center at First Energy Stadium. Our Phils remind you to have your next sports team banquet in the Our Phils all-new Redner's Event Center banquet and meeting facility at First Energy Stadium, whether it's a sports banquet, a wedding, a corporate meeting or event, or any charity fundraiser dinner. The #1 place for events in Berks County for groups of 40 to 1,000 is the all-new Redner's Event Center at the Our Phils. Go to ourphils.com/events for more information. And again, Mason Young is our player of the game. We'll get his official stats, but by numbers, he was 7 for 10 on the night for 233 yards, and he had the 4 touchdowns to go along with it. He had 13 touchdown passes on the season coming in. He gets 4 more in the game tonight. He did have the 1 interception. Really, the only mistake he made all night was that interception he made in the 3rd quarter. Mustangs turned around and ended up putting it in the end zone after that play ultimately happened. But again, a very long conversation with Doug Doms, with his team, despite the 42-10 win. We talked about this in our pregame show tonight, that Doug Doms, after the game against Nazareth, was adamantly displeased with his team. He talked about it with us. He thought that they were playing selfish football, weren't doing and playing assignment football. I would have guessed that tonight's conversation had a lot to do with the penalties. The Bulldogs were backed up with a lot of penalties tonight, but they were able to overcome it all in the end. And again, they come away with the victory at 42-10. So they are now 5-1 on the season. Bulldogs back to Section 1 play in the Lancaster 11 League, but they're going to be on the road the next 3 weeks. Hempfield, Penn Manor, and then McCaskey before winding up the season at home back here at John Gursky Stadium against Manheim Township, and we'll be here for that game. Matt Lytle has caught up with winning coach Doug Doms. Matt, take it away.
Coach Doms, Matt Lytle, WEU, congrats on a big win tonight, rivalry game. Thoughts on how your team prepared for this big game?
Well, obviously we knew there were some things we were going to do against them, but we started out with too many stupid little things, stupid offsides penalties, things like that, and that's just getting focused and not taking a team for granted, which I think they kind of did a little bit. Once they refocused, we started to play much better football.
You talk about pregame, how you want the kids to play discipline. You want them to just play, be unselfish. How do you think they responded, with that coaching? I know you're a man of discipline, and you want all 11 players doing their job on every given play. So how are they responding to that coaching?
I think they're getting there. They never, athletes, they never get there as fast as you want them to. They're never as good as you want them to be. But, we just keep getting better, a little bit better each week, and see where we are come November.
Speaking of getting better, your quarterback, Mason Young, he was 7 of 10 tonight for 233 yards, 4 touchdown passes, made a lot of big plays with his feet. Can you talk to me a little bit about his progression under center?
He did a pretty nice job tonight. He hit some of those long, but I don't know what he was throwing to on that interception, right? But threw some nice balls to, just spread it around. One to Eli. Escaping that one tackle that they then threw to Eli in the corner was great. I mean, that was a great play.
Yeah, I think that might have been a play of the game where Worley came up, popped him, looked like he was going to get tackled for loss, stiff-armed him, spun out of it, kept his eyes down the field, and hit Dean in the back of the end zone. So, that was just a talent, a talent on his own. He did that all by himself. Huge play by Mason Young.
That's what we need out of him.
Coach, heck of a game, hard-fought game tonight. Anything special that you said to the kids after the game? What was your parting remarks?
We lost a little focus early, and I said that's something you got to pick up in practice, and we just got to keep getting a little bit better every week. You want to have a long run, you got to keep improving.
I love it. Coach, congrats on a big win. Best of luck next week.
Thank you.
And the Doug Doms wins career win number 201. Again, he has been at Wilson High School, attached to Wilson High School, for 50 years. He came here as an assistant coach back in 1976. This is his 50th season attached to Wilson football, and now as the head coach in his 20th season. He told me a couple years ago, I know when I'm done. I'm just not telling anybody else when I'm done. So I don't know when that year is going to be, if it's 2025 or when it's going to be. But Doug Doms has certainly made his legacy. And Doug Doms is already in just about every Hall of Fame you can be in. He's in the Wilson Hall of Fame. He played at Muhlenberg. He's in the Muhlenberg Hall of Fame. He played college. He played at Lebanon Valley. He's in that Hall of Fame. He's in the Berks County Hall of Fame. He's in the Football Hall of Fame. If there's a Hall of Fame, he's in it. He's probably in the Tennis Hall of Fame just because of everything else he's done. He was also a great track coach here as well. Matt Lytle's caught up with our player of the game. Our Reading Fighting Phil's player of the game is Mason Young. Matt Lytle, take it away, quarterback to quarterback.
Mason Young, Matt Lytle, WEEU. Congrats on a huge win tonight, and congrats on being player of the game.
Thank you.
So, stats tonight, 7 of 10, 233 yards, 4 touchdowns. Can you talk to us about those touchdowns? Coming in tonight, was that the game plan, really airing it out versus this tough Governor Mifflin defense?
Yeah, I think against film, watching film, we've seen the seams that opened up really well. And I think just going into the week, the seams were our strongest point of the game. And, I mean, that was kind of our game plan going in. And then the run game opened up later on, and it just made it easy because our running backs are doing good, our O-line's doing good, and it just worked.
So you had 4 beautiful throws tonight. I should say you had a lot of beautiful throws tonight, but you had 4 touchdown passes tonight. Which one was your favorite and why?
I like the one to Mike. I mean, he ran it really well. It looked like he was running away from the backer, and he just ran to the ball. It fell in his hands. Our O-line did a great job holding up, and it was a long touchdown. It was cool.
Yeah, it was a beautiful throw. He put it where only he could get it. 74 yards, touchdown pass there. But what about the play, that last touchdown throw to Dean? Tell me about that play. How did that materialize?
I mean, I looked to the first progression, and I seen someone coming in hot. So I lowered my shoulder. I don't know. I think I spun out of it, and I kept with the play. It rolled out. Eli did a great job coming with me to the sideline, put his hand up in the air, and I seen him, and he made a great catch.
Yeah, it was a beautiful play by you. Using your legs, spinning out. Worley's a great player. He was wrapping you up, and you stiff-armed him, you spun, eyes were downfield, and you found Dean in the end zone. So great play there. A couple other questions. So, if you could give your younger self some advice, what would it be?
Study the playbook. I think when I was a sophomore and a junior, I think that was maybe my weak point. And coaches told me, like, study the playbook, and keep with your progressions. And I think just being behind Tommy and being behind Maddox they're great players. They're great to be behind because they're two different players. Tommy was really good with the playbook. He was strong. He was fast. He threw great balls all the time. And Maddox he's very athletic, and he still had the throwing game. And just being behind those two guys were really a pleasure.
Awesome. So another question I have for you is, "The Boys That Fall" by Kenny Chesney. One of the songs I really like, and why I like that song is talks a lot about dreams and dreaming big. So as you're growing up, like we all do, what would you say your number one dream is growing up as a kid until now?
I think the NFL. The NFL was definitely big for me because, growing up watching Super Bowls and watching, my dad is a Steelers fan, watching the Steelers play, and then my mom is an Eagles fan, and my brother actually hates the Eagles. But watching the Eagles, watching the Steelers, and growing up watching the Steelers play in that Super Bowl, I remember Arizona Super Bowl with the Ben Roethlisberger touchdown in the corner of the end zone. I would rewatch that over and over again because that was such a great ball and such a great catch. I think just growing up. Yeah.
Well, I think that's an awesome dream to have, and you got to dream big. NFL, most kids, if they're playing football, they're going to want to play in the NFL. So last question I have for you. Do you have an idol or a mentor currently right now?
Idol, I really like Lamar Jackson. He's a great player, obviously. I really like his style, his play of game. He's good on his feet, good in the air. And my mentor, probably Chad Henne. He's great to be around. Whenever I came off the sideline, off of the pick, I was pretty upset about it. And he's just there to pick me up all the time.
So I would agree. Chad Henne is huge for you to have on the sidelines. Former NFL quarterback, been in Super Bowls, right? He knows how to win. He knows how to prepare. And I've seen a huge progression in you from first game we did against Nazareth until now. 17 touchdown passes on the season now. I think your completion percentage is getting darn close to 70%. So kudos to that because that's important, your completion percentage. So preparation is huge, and having Chad Henne as a mentor is big. So best of luck the rest of the way. Great win tonight, and have fun with your teammates. Great job.
Mason Young is our player of the game, our Reading Fight Phil's player of the game. It's time now for our play of the game. That's brought to you by Celebration Villa of Exeter. This September, all direct referrals to Celebration Villa will be entered to win a fully stocked tailgate kit. Contact Natalie at Celebration Villa of Exeter for your referral and be entered to win this stocked hard cooler, pretzels, and a gift card to Liberty Tap Room. Celebration Villa of Exeter offers a close-knit community where every resident is cared for like family. Well, Mason Young certainly had his pick of plays to pick from, but we'll take a look at the big play that at the time it was a 14-3 game, but it was a hookup to Mason Glover at the 5-minute and 26-second mark of the second quarter when Damian Glover, Mason's younger brother, it was Damian Greer he found for the touchdown pass. That at the time it was 7-3. I'm getting ahead of myself. It was early on in the second quarter after Governor Mifflin had the field goal. The Bulldogs got the football to start the second quarter, and it was a 64-yard touchdown pass. Mason Young, Damian Greer pass, and he broke a couple of tackles on the process, and Damian Greer took it in for the touchdown, and that a 14-3 lead for the Bulldogs, and they never looked back. They opened it up to a 28-3 lead, and they ultimately won it 42-10. The Bulldogs winning it over the Governor Mifflin Mustangs. We'll take one last time out, come back and run through all of our scoring tonight and wrap up our night of high school football here on WEEU from West Lawn, and then the Scoreboard show to follow. Right back with one more break here on our postgame show, brought to you by the Pizza Como of Temple.
Tripping faucet, AC on the fritz, breakers keep tripping. One call does it all. Keith Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical. For 30 years, we've handled everything from routine maintenance to full system installs. Residential and commercial, we're fast, fair, and always reliable.
Call 877-KEITH for you. That's 877-KEATH for you. Or visit carlkeith.com. Solving problems since before AI was a thing.
Redner's Markets is a part of the Berks County community, proudly employee, local, and American-owned since 1970. Your support has made Redner's a staple, and your continued commitment is rewarded with the Redner's Rewards program. Shopping at the markets earns you big savings with grocery deals, special offers and services, and surprise savings. Rewards members save at the pump, too, with discounts on fuel prices at our 7 Redner's Quick Stops and many more select locations. Shop, earn, and save with the Redner's mobile app. Sign up at the store or online at rednersmarkets.com.
This season, stick with everyone's favorite snack, Diefenbach's Kettle Chips. Legend has it, Mark Diefenbach loved kettle cooked chips so much, he turned his Berks County kitchen into the ultimate snack factory. Now, over 60 years later, we're still making that delicious PA crafted crunch with the same passion and quality right where it all began. So crunch into some flavorful Diefenbach's Kettle Chips today and snack on a delicious tradition. Get ready to save big at the Habitat for Humanity Restore. For just 1 week only, September 23rd through the 30th, take 20% off brand new flooring, appliances, and furniture. Whether you're renovating your home or hunting for unique treasures, you'll find it at Restore Berks. Shop smart, save money, and support your community with Habitat for Humanity. 5370 Allentown Pike in Temple. Learn more at restoreberks.org.
Hey, Berks County, Chick-fil-A Catering makes game day even better. Choose from a variety of trays, including Chick-fil-A nuggets, mac and cheese, and chocolate chunk cookies. Perfect for your next gathering. Place your order through the Chick-fil-A app, online, or by calling ahead and pick it up at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant at Broadcasting Square, 5th Street Highway, and Exeter Commons. Take cooking off your plate this football season and enjoy the perfect spread with Chick-fil-A Catering. Availability and order requirements vary. See restaurant for details.
42-10 was our final score. Let's tell you how it all happened. It would start right back from the very beginning because on the opening kickoff, Governor Mifflin fumbled that opening kickoff. Wilson took possession right back at the Governor Mifflin 31-yard line, and it didn't take long for Mason Young and the Bulldogs to set the tone. Fumble on the opening kickoff gives the ball to Wilson in Mifflin territory at the Mustang 31-yard line. Mason Young wants to go for something right away. He swings it out for Jaden Carpenter. He's got blockers. He's got the 20, 15, 10, 5, and that quickly. Jaden Carpenter and the Wilson Bulldogs are in the end zone. Touchdown, Wilson. Well, we said in our pregame show, Matt and I talked about the fact that the Mustangs were going to have to grind it out, slow this game down to some degree, and they were able to do that on their first official possession because they put together a 14-play, 70-yard drive. And they got it to a point in that drive of first and goal to 2. But unfortunately, the Mustangs ended up going backwards on it, had to settle for a field goal, and it was a 24-yard field goal from Lance Koenig. The Mustangs did come away with points on it. With 4:42 left to go in the first quarter, it was 7-3, but the Bulldogs answered right back. And the early seconds of the second quarter, Mason Young strikes again. Bulldogs lead it, and they have it. 2nd and 16 at their own 36. Now Glover shifts out, moves over to a slot on the left side. Play action fake. Young throwing it the other way. He's got a man in the middle of the field. Becker on the catch. He slips a tackle at the 30, and now he's got blockers. He's going to take it to the house. It is Damian Greer on the play. Lined up as a slot receiver, made a man miss, and will take it to the house. That's going to be a 64-yard touchdown. Our Celebrationville of Exeter play of the game, the hookup from Mason Young to Damian Greer, 64 yards in the score. The Bulldogs then extended their lead to a 14-3 difference. Mifflin unable to do anything more than pick up a first down. They went for it on 4th and 2 from their own 33, from the 33-yard line, unable to get the first down. So the Bulldogs got the football right back from 1st and 10 at their 31-yard line. They got backed up again on a penalty. Doug Dom's talking about that with Matt Lytle down on the field about the penalties tonight that the Bulldogs assessed against themselves. They were in a 1st and 15 at the 26-yard line, and Mason Young threw what he thought was his best pass of the night. 1st and 15 now for the Bulldogs from the 26. And Aking's the back in the backfield. Young's got 2 on his right and 1 on his left. And Young wants to throw it. He's got a man. He's looking for Glover, who's got a step. Glover, 45-30, 25-20. Michael Glover will outrun the defense for the touchdown and another home run hit. The Mustangs, with that touchdown, the Bulldogs are on top 21-3. Mustangs pick up a first down only on their next possession. Wilson takes over this time 1st and 10 with 2 minutes and change left to go into the first half. Wilson takes over 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line. A couple of big hookups, including a connection to Jaden Carpenter, took them down to a 1st and goal to the 2-yard line. And on a 1st and goal, Carell Akings got a chance. 21 yards on a hookup to the 2, and now Akings will keep it, and he'll take it in for the touchdown. Carell Akings will run it in for the score for the Bulldogs. And that's where it stood at halftime. 28-3 was our score at halftime. The Bulldogs got the football to start the second half, unable to do much of anything after picking up 1 first down. They had to punt the football. Governor Mifflin got the ball back, but the Mustangs drove down, got themselves in a position to try to put points on the board. But a great play by Carell Akings to intercept the football in the end zone, took it away from Joe Murray for an interception. The Bulldogs got the football right back on the touchback at the 20. Then Mason Young went for a home run, but it was picked off by Patrick Stewart. Stewart picks it off. The Mustangs get the football right back, and the Governor Mifflin Mustangs showing a little bit of an aerial attack. They had it 2nd and 7 at the 23-yard line, and LeBron Leaf went up top. Leaf looking for the end zone, and guess who? It's Murray wide open in the end zone. Governor Mifflin puts 6 on the board. Joe Murray wide open, and Leaf found him for the score. Made it a 28-10 game with 3 minutes and 38 seconds left to go, but the Bulldogs responded. They got the ball back with 3:34 to go, and they put together a drive, got themselves to a 2nd and goal at the 13-yard line, and throughout the night they were going up top. This time they went on the ground, and this time it was junior Monty Greer who got the call. Here comes Greer following his blocking. 10-5 touchdown. This time Greer cuts it upfield, and he'll take it in for the touchdown. Monty Greer from 13 yards out, and 6 more for the Bulldogs. Series of 5 straight running plays to Monty Greer, and he takes it in for the 13-yard score. That made it 35-10 as Preston Oxenrider stayed perfect on the night in extra point attempts, and Wilson had one last scoring shot, and this time it was a fabulous play by Mason Young on a play on 3rd and goal from the 6. Young is looking to throw for it again. He's going to get pounded in the backfield. Somehow he got out of that. Still on his feet, looks and finds a receiver in the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs. So Mason Young takes a licking and keeps on moving the feet this time, and he finds Dean for the touchdown from 7 yards out. And Oxenrider again with the extra point made it 42-10. That wraps up our scoring. Great job by our crew back at the WE studios putting all those clips together to give you the highlights of tonight's football game. And, of course, check out all our social media pages for all the interviews that Matt did on the sideline, plus our play and player of the game, and a whole lot more from our coverage here in West Lawn tonight. Matt, back up with the booth with me now. We walk away again. You can't not be impressed by the weapons that Wilson has at their disposal. And as Mason Young continues to develop behind center, we saw some different things from Mason Young tonight, including the accuracy with the long ball. And I cannot keep but reminding myself, we also saw a little bit of escapability with Mason Young at his feet tonight that we had not seen before.
Yeah, he's tough to bring down in the pocket. Eyes down the field, made some plays. I mean, he was 5 for 5 in the first half. I mean, he threw some beautiful balls. That ball to Glover for 74 yards was beautiful. The one I really liked was the play action, fake dive, stand up tall, fired that slant route backside to Dean all the way down to the 2. That was a beautiful throw and catch. I mean, he's definitely progressing, coming along. I think Doms, Palm, and Henny are really doing a good job with him for the limited amount of time he's had under center, this being his first year starting. So my hat goes off to him. If he continues to grow and progress, I mean, he's got weapons all around him. From the Greers, you've got A-Kings, you've got Carpenter. Of course, you have Glover, and himself, like you said. He can make plays with his feet. If they need to run him, he's a lot like Maddox Gruber, right? He's shifty.
Yeah. The only thing I didn't like about him was the shot at the Eagles. I didn't see any reason for that. I think that's the Chad Henne influence.
Yeah, I'm sure it's.
There was no reason for that. No reason for the Eagle hate, but he had to throw it out there in the interview.
He's a Steelers fan. Come on, he's a Steelers fan.
Well, the Eagles will be on WEU on Sunday against the Tampa Bay Bucks. Again, Merrill Reese and Mike Quick with the call. That was 1 o'clock, and don't forget, of course, tomorrow night, the big college football game, Penn State, Oregon, 7:30 is kickoff time. Steve Jones and Jack Ham with the call of the football game from Beaver Stadium. Our coverage gets underway. 5:30 with Nittany Extra. Alongside Rich Garcelle and myself, Zach Mills will join us for his insights into Penn State and Oregon tomorrow night.
Aller's going to have a big game. Mark my words.
There you go.
He's got to have a big game for
Yeah.
Penn State to win it. So I'm saying he's going to have a big game because I think Penn State is going to come out on top.
Well, I agree with you for sure on the first part. He does have to have a big game for them to win it. Let's see if it happens tomorrow night. Look, that's when these guys all came back. Aller came back.
Yeah,
Singleton came back.
agree.
K-Tron Allen came back for games like tomorrow night. We'll see if it all pays off for the Penn State Nittany Lions. Tomorrow night, again, we'll have it for you here on WEU. Next Friday night, high school football presented by Savage Auto Group. We'll be back in Shillington. We'll see the Governor Mifflin Mustangs. We saw some things from the Mustangs tonight. At the end of the game, look, I think Mifflin knew it. Nick Morrissey knew it. They were going up against the Bear tonight, the Wilson Bulldogs. But back in Section 2 of the LL next Friday night, we also saw some good things. Nick Kalis running tough. Patrick Stewart making plays happen. And LeBron Leaf, as he gets more and more comfortable running that option, he is a threat. I would take a lot of courage to be that guy on the outside edge when LeBron Leaf has the ball in the option.
Yeah, I mean, he's another one. He's a dual threat quarterback, right? He can run it with his feet. But I'll tell you what, the second half, they opened it up, started throwing it, and he threw some beautiful balls.
He
really looked good.
Yeah, he did.
So, I mean, and the best part about LeBron Leaf, talking with Coach Morrissey, is LeBron Leaf is a great kid. He's a good leader, and he cares about everybody else on the sidelines, all his teammates. So, my hat goes off to him. They got beat up tonight, but just keep grinding and come back next week and have a great game.
We'll see him again next Friday night in Shillington against Conestoga Valley. As always, our high school football games presented by Savage Auto Group. We will have the pregame show coming your way at 6:30. Thanks to Drew Kaufman, the athletic director here at Wilson High School, and the hospitality. Sean Tansky back at the WEU studios. Kyle Reuter has been our executive producer here in West Lawn. Jeff Nolan, Matt Knob coming up with the Scoreboard show. They'll be on the air until 11:30, filling you in on everything that happened in high school football on a Friday night. Nobody does high school football on a Friday night like WEU. The Wilson Bulldogs are 5-1. They again are at Hempfield next Friday night. Governor Mifflin falls to 2-4. We'll see them next Friday night in Shillington. The final score, Wilson 42, Governor Mifflin 10. The Gursky-Lynn Trophy stays in West Lawn. Have yourselves a great weekend, everyone. The Scoreboard show is coming your way now.
This has been High School Football, presented by Savage Auto Group on 830 WEEU.
High school sports on WEEU is brought to you in part by Chick-fil-A, Celebration Villa of Exeter, Diefenbach Snacks, the Coley Insurance Group, Keith Heating and Air Conditioning, Habitat for Humanity Restore, Overhead Door Company, Render's Warehouse Markets, Remax Real Estate Agent Phil Macaronis, Lincoln Plumbing and Heating, Pizza Como, Ready Fight and Phil's, Savage Auto Group, Shell's Restaurant, Mini Golf and Dairy Swirl, Spots Insurance, UECU, United Way of Berks County, and Victor Emmanuel Beneficial Society.
WEEU is your source for comprehensive coverage and live play-by-play action from the gridiron. This is 830 WEEU, the voice of Berks and beyond. The voice of Berks and beyond. 830 WEEU ready.
The voice 830.